Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, March 16th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got NASCAR Cup Series action. We're in Vegas for the Pennzoil 400. Can't wait to be able to get this race started. They're just getting into the cars. Obviously, we have a quick commercial break, and we are ready for some racing. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get settled in for some racing on this fantastic Sunday afternoon. Let's get it. And on the thumb, as you know, as always, it's Napa Know-How. And I had to hit you with my Chase Elliott. And again, we don't expect Chase to necessarily win today, but I'm hoping for a top 5 or top 10 finish. It's been a little bit of a struggle, since Bowman Gray. But again, you never know. And again, sometimes just avoiding the big wreck and being a little bit lucky towards the end will give you a chance. Christopher Bell, going for his 4th win in a row. And we haven't seen anything done like that since Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy Johnson last ended up winning 4 in a row in the Cup Series, but it was all the way back in 2007. So again, we don't really know if Christopher Bell can be like Jimmy, but based on winning one race and then winning back-to-back, which no one thought was possible, and then winning last week and going back-to-back-to-back, nothing is out of the question. But again, the last time that we've seen someone win 4 races in a row, all the way back in 2007, a little nugget for information for you guys, because I always am digging deep for the stats and the analytics. We got Mike Joy, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, and ya boy in the booth. Let's go, baby. I am ready. Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, how did you enjoy the F1 race yesterday? I did not get a chance to watch the whole thing. Obviously, was spending a lot of quality time with Paisley Pup, but I imagine you can fill me in on what happened last night. And even though it was, around 9 p.m., it was Australian time, so a little kind of an odd start time, unless that's something normal for F1. But definitely got a chance to, tune in a little, but not as much as I would like. Sarah in the building, what's good? Keep me updated on that as well. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. We're shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall if we hit the algorithm, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's get it. Lando, nice. Batman in the building, how are you? Let's go, baby. And they still don't have the timeline up just yet, obviously, since we are just getting the drivers into the cars. But as you can see, Michael McDowell, former Daytona 500 winner, at the pole, Joey Logano in 2nd, Austin Cindric in 3rd, Kyle Busch in 4th. And I do agree with Cole. Kyle Busch, he's been getting closer and closer. He ended up winning a truck race a couple weeks ago. It just feels like it's a matter of time for someone like Kyle Busch. Had a rough year last year, but it would not shock me if Busch wins a race or 2 this year. He's got the talent, but this new next-gen car, it's been a struggle for guys like Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott, where, what you did in the previous car may not be the same type of strategy that you have in this car, and they have to kind of change their driving style, and it's kind of hurt them a little bit, getting adjusted to this new car. But no excuses, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But definitely Kyle Busch, I think, will have a chance here today. And I know that him and everyone that represents Rowdy, as well as the fam, they're going to be rooting for him as well. Morgan Freeman, the Grand Marshal, and we even have some WWE talent like Chelsea Green at the track as well. Very cool. And they have a nice partnership there. Let's go. And then getting back into the top 10, we got Eric Jones in 5th. I know Cole likes that as well. Alex Bowman in 6th. Josh Berry in 7th. William Byron in 8th. Zane Smith in 9th. And Kyle Larson in 10th. And you got Chris Buescher on the outside looking in at 11th. Now, Hendrick Motorsports is very, very good on this track. So don't be surprised and with Vegas wins, if Alex Bowman wins, William Byron wins, or Kyle Larson wins. You can throw Chase Elliott in there as well. He's starting a little bit further back. And I would love to say with a straight face, that Chase has got just as good of a chance as those other guys. But I would say probably, at least for this particular week, looking at Alex Bowman and William Byron's rides, based on qualifying and everything that they've done up to this point, they have to be the front runners for Hendrick Motorsports. Then Larson, obviously finishing or starting here in the grid in 10th, and then Chase probably has the least likely chance for this week. But just because you start in the middle or in the back doesn't mean that you can't rise to the front. Ryan Blaney is in the back. He's going to end up having a top 5, top 10 finish more than likely. So it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. But some tracks are a little bit easier to get to the front. And Vegas, it's not very easy. It's not a super speedway like Natman will tell you. This isn't the Daytona 500, so it's going to take some time to get there. But luckily today, we got 267 laps, so we're going to have some time to be able to get that done. So, but again, I'm going to be rooting for my boy, Chase Elliott, Napa Know-How. Napa Know-How! And hope you guys enjoyed the thumb. Obviously, I decided to make the image of Chase a little bit bigger, and obviously doing the NASCAR theme kind of in the middle, not over to the side. And I'm definitely excited the way that it turned out. And every time I end up doing a thumb, I give you a little piece of who I am, with my personality and trying to give you something that is aesthetically pleasing. But again, I think it turned out fantastic. And I can't wait, man, for the Pennzoil 400 here in Vegas. Let's go. Let's bring that electricity. And again, a lot of sports going on here today. You got the MLB, with spring training. You got some NHL with the Kraken a little bit later. Obviously, a little bit of NBA, and obviously with college basketball, just kind of getting wrapped up with the championship games, and obviously the selection Sunday. And then we're going to figure out at some point here, who's going to be a 1 seed, and then everyone can start to kind of fill out their brackets sooner than later. So let's go. Odin in the building. What's good? Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I don't really watch F1 or the Indy racing and whatnot, but just being able to hear that speed and seeing them go across the track, the camera angles are better in F1 than they are in NASCAR. Didn't get a chance really to watch as much as I would like. Paisley, Paisley's one of those pups that really needs the attention, and I don't mind giving it to her. But the average person, might play with their dog, maybe for 10 minutes, 15 minutes playing fetch or, a tug of war. But when I play with Paisley, it's hours on end. So that kind of took up some of my time last night, and she was definitely getting a little ornery, because it goes from one toy to the next. But, being a dog father, you want to make sure that your pup is happy, and I know she is. We went for an early walk. We avoided the rain. And I'm definitely excited to be able to hang out with you guys here for the next 3 hours and 30 minutes or so, possibly 4 hours if we have any rain or any big delays, or if we have massive cautions. But again, should be a fun one here today. We'll be doing Monday Night Raw tomorrow, and then we'll look into the schedule Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for a collection of NHL, NBA, wrestling, or possibly MLB, as we're getting into the Tokyo games, but that's going to be at 3 a.m. for the Cubs and the Dodgers, so I'm not going to be streaming that, but we're getting closer and closer to the regular season for the MLB. This is the first time on the channel where we did the trifecta. We did the trucks, we did Xfinity, and we're here for, obviously, the Pennzoil 400. It's a grind, to be able to do racing streams compared to some of the other things. But I do truly love it and enjoy it. I need something to be able to look forward to since the NFL and college football season is over. Jamie Little on the mic, getting everyone prepared. Let's freaking go. Oh, it does. I was actually browsing it, and it looks like it literally has everything that we would want. WWE, AEW, NJPW, TNA, Impact, it literally has everything. That is something that we're going to be using, I think, quite a bit. IndyCar is a coffin with 4 wheels. Yeah, they go fast. That's for damn sure. Yeah, no rain today, hopefully. Hopefully. Again, the rain came out of nowhere in the trucks, but based on the report, hopefully everything will be good to go here. I'm going to take a look at the weather as we speak here. All right, it's 63 degrees now. It's cloudy. And 0.01 every hour during the race. So only a 10% of Vegas is going to get 0.01. So like a little bit of a sprinkle in certain parts of Vegas shouldn't affect the track one bit. And I'm definitely excited to see what we get here today. Monster Jam World Finals are in Vegas? I did not know that. I think Monster Jam in general is cool, regardless if you have a kid or not. It just kind of depends on, if you like racing and if you like vehicles, in general. I was digging through some of my old toys, that I had from I was, very, very young, from 3 years old to 12 years old. And believe it or not, I ended up finding my old micro machines. I didn't even know if I still had some of those, but I got a Greyhound bus, which is in pristine condition, super rare, 2 little cars, and then a little van. Very cool, because everyone grew up with Hot Wheels or Matchbox, but not everyone had the micro machines. I got some fond memories of micro machines and those commercials they used to play back in the day when I would be sitting to either watch racing, or college hoops, or getting ready for Saved by the Bell, or maybe watching some wrestling on the weekends for Saturday night. For main event, but very, very cool. It definitely got me excited to be able to go through some of those old things that I haven't seen in quite some time, and I am definitely ready for some racing here today. Let's go. Happy 3/16, happy Stone Cold Day as well for everyone that's a racing fan, baby. Stone Cold stunners left and right for everybody. And again, I imagine a lot of the social media sites will be doing, the best of Stone Cold. And you're going to be able to get, Stone Cold stunners for 2 minutes straight. And again, that will always happen on Happy 3/16. Let's go. Ryan Blaney starting 36, but don't be surprised if he ends up having a top 10 finish. Oh, here's my favorite guy, Larry McReynolds, Southern Twang. Love it, man. And again, it really is about the vibes that you get and with the announcers that you have. Love, love, love me some Larry McReynolds. Again, the broadcasts were undefeated back in the day when it was Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds as a starting, person, not someone that's just kind of a filler guy, and obviously Darrell Waltrip. And I'm not saying the broadcast for the announcing is terrible now, but it's just not as good as it used to be. I think, everyone's going to have their favorites, but we need more Larry McReynolds. I need more of his intelligence and his voice in NASCAR. Facts. STL in the building. What's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. I do got a vet visit for Paisley on Wednesday. So again, I usually only have to do that once or twice a year. I know it's going to cost a couple $100. So anything that anybody can do, like sharing, donating, commenting, supporting, is definitely going to really help between now and Wednesday when I have to take her in. And hopefully everything will be okay with her. Oh my God. Super Van City. I was never rich enough to have that. I do have a Hot Wheels suitcase that opens up into a play set where you can, put the Hot Wheels. It's got a car wash. And I, believe it or not, I found it, in my garage. Still in pretty much good condition. It's crazy when you can have those memories. Never ended up owning that, but that would be something very cool that, if I ever had extra money down the road, I definitely would buy the Super Van Micro Machines, for sure. That thing is awesome. I've never seen that before. I've heard of it, but I never saw a picture of it or what the box looked like. Thank you for sharing that. That is very cool. I think I remember seeing that on the commercial, but I never actually, kind of remembered it until now. Odin with a 10er. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Odin. Odin with a 10er. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. bringing that electricity right out of the gates. I appreciate you very, very much. Let's go, baby. Napa know-how. My guy, we're at 10, 90 to go. Okay, cool. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Grave digger. I remember that. Here we go, baby. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. $267 laps, 2 laps in. Let's go, baby. Now 3. And we already got a lead change. Joey Logano getting in front of Michael McDowell early. No surprise there. There we go. Let's get the updates going here with NASCAR.com. Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, Austin Cindric, Alex Bowman, who should be one of the favorites today, as well as William Byron, right? And again, Kyle Larson, not maybe as much of a favorite as Bowman and Byron. And I do like Kyle Busch's chances in this race today. He's been very, very close. Wouldn't be shocked there. But again, it could end up being one of the OGs like Logano, or a guy like Ryan Blaney starting at the back and moving his way to the front. Chase Elliott in 17th. We got to get him into the top 10, the top 5, and in the winner's circle, baby. Let's go. I'll get that photo pulled up so that way I can share it here as well. You want to send me the Micro Machines playset that comes from a van and that opens up into a playset? You want to send that to me on Twitter/X as well? Love to be able to kind of look at that here on screen. A little cloudy, a little overcast, but we don't anticipate any rain. Joey Logano looking very strong right out of the gates. Bowman and Byron there, right next to each other, battling for 4th and 5th. Kyle Busch next to him. And then again, we just need to be able to get Mr. Napa know-how closer to Kyle Larson. And again, once we can get that, Chase in 15th now. If we can get Chase at like 12th, right next to Larson at 11th, I know they can make a push, and then we'll have all the Hendrick Motorsports cars in the top 10. Blaney went from 36th to 28th in 6 laps. The guy's a fucking machine. Telling y'all, he will be able to move his way to the front. Blaney's car was pretty good before the adjustments, and again, we'll see where everything goes. But look at Bubba. Bubba 8 spots, Dylan 6, Spinhouse and Reddick 4 spots, but Ryan Blaney. Just because you start in the back doesn't mean you're going to stay in the back. Let's go. Byron starting in 8th, already in 4th place. Man, look at these movers and shakers. And again, we didn't get enough wrecks, for some people, including myself, in the trucks and the Xfinity. And I don't want to have, a wreck destroy Chase Elliott's day. But again, this isn't in a super speedway where you're going to see more wrecks. It's probably going to be pretty minimal. I don't think we're going to end up having like 3 cautions like we did in Xfinity. We're going to have, at the very minimum, probably 6 or 7. If things get a little hairy, it could get close to, 8, 9, or 10, but I doubt it. But we'll have to see how the tires hold up. And again, it's not a super speedway, but I am still hoping for a couple big wrecks, just not any of our favorite drivers getting involved. Like, I always feel like something is missing from a race when I don't get that big wreck. That excitement of a car flipping or, tire going off, flames underneath the car. And again, it can end up ruining, some of our favorite drivers' days. But, it does bring that excitement to NASCAR that, it's cool to have the green flag racing. But after you have, like, 50 to 80 laps of nothing happening. It's like watching NHL and they're just skating. They're just kind of going through the motions, no big hits, just some random, regular passing. The actual shot attempts are pretty mid, and again, it gets to a point where I won't say it's boring, when you watch, NHL or NBA or NASCAR, when it kind of gets to that type of point where you're waiting for something big to happen and it doesn't happen, but hopefully we'll end up getting something like, big, obviously this Sunday. So, here's the first photo for Odin. Gravedigger, and then the Gravedigger vehicle there. That's looking slick right there. Very similar, on the paint job. And then obviously me and finding my old school micro machines. Man, I would have just died and went to heaven if I would have got this as a kid. Micro Machines Super Van City. Are you fucking kidding me? Like a big ass RV, and then it opens up into that? Holy hell. That's a lot of fun right there for me. I mean, I had a wrestling ring. I did have a suitcase that opened up into a Hot Wheel, thing, and the suitcase was pretty big. I mean, it was a pretty good size where, even today as an adult, it's a pretty good weight to it as well. But man, I've never seen that. I would love to be able to have one of those at some point or another. Very cool. And you start to see play sets that get a little bit more original, kind of like in the 80s and 90s. Like I have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a pizza box that opens up into a playset and whatnot. But again, a lot of these things, as me being a collector, I have to be careful, to decide, do I want to actually open it? Is the box going to get ruined if I open it? But sometimes the kid in me wants to kind of fuck around and pose, different figures and, just to feel the material and to be able to see what, some of these play sets are about that I never got a chance to have when I was a kid. But I'll tell you what, if I did, you probably wouldn't have seen me. I would have skipped school a lot. Be like, where's Orion? Playing video games at home with the playset. Facts. Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, Cindric, Byron, and Bowman in your top 5. Busch, Jones, Smith, Larson, and Barry in your top 10 with Tyler Reddick in the Toyota on the outside looking in. Very cool. Yeah, we'll see what's going on, for the tourney on Thursday. Everything has to be kind of calculated, based on what we do. But again, we do have the tourney coming up, so that will be an option. We'll see what is going on with the Kraken and the Blazers. We hit the algorithm. We're at 116. You guys know what to do in the room. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. And again, you never know at any given point. Now we're at 212. You got to be able to, stay pat. Be confident that we can get those likes in early. You might be able to hit the algorithm. And even when we don't get them in early, sometimes the algorithm will hit. And again, nice to be able to see that. We didn't get the algorithm, obviously, for the trucks. We didn't get it for Xfinity, but it looks like it is here for the Cup Series. Let's go. 212. Let's see how high we can get. We've peaked at over 2,000 this season. So, we can get there. We can get to 500. We can get to 1,000. We can get to 2,000. Logano, Cindric, McDowell, Byron, Bowman, Busch, Jones, Smith, Larson, Barry. And again, there's many quality wins for Hendrick Motorsports at this track. So don't be surprised if you end up having, a Hendrick Motorsports, driver in victory lane here today. 564. Here we go. Now it's on Fox, Dubai Sports, TSN, Premiere, Fox MX, and Ziggo. Obviously all around the globe. And then at some point, I'm going to have to do that add-on through Showtime or HBO that gives me the different camera angles and whatnot. So I haven't got a chance to order it yet. 1,231. Let's go. But again, at some point or another, I'll probably have to fork out the $10. I'll try it out for a month. And then we'll kind of see where it goes. 1,617. Let's go. 19 laps in out of 80 laps in stage 1. No cautions yet. And we have a very competitive race here so far. Logano, Cindric, Byron, McDowell, Bowman in your top 5. Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, and Zane Smith in your top 10 with Josh Berry on the outside looking in. Let's see if we can get over 2,000. I think we will. 1,794. We're pacing, baby. Let's go. And I love what Ryan Blaney is doing, and never count him out. Even starting in the very back, he can win this race. Ryan Blaney has got the skills to pay the bills. Car was good. His driving skills are exceptional. Napa know-how. I see you, Chase. Finally getting a little action there with Chase Elliott. Where are you at, Chase? Work your way up. Let's go. And Chase just getting on the outside looking in of the top 10. Let's go, baby. 2,796. We broke a record. I think we peaked at around 2,000 or 2,100 earlier in the season. Let's go, Chase. Chase in 12th. I told y'all if we can get him close to Larson, that Larson has moved his way up all the way to 8th. So now if we can get there he is on the graphic. Chase, baby. Let's go. Napa know-how. Let's get it. 22 laps in. It's amazing how good some of these drivers are. Blaney in 19th. Incredible. He's already gained half of the spots that he was behind, being in the very back, and he's already in the middle of the pack. Incredible. But again, I don't think anyone ever will doubt Ryan Blaney and his skill set. An amazing driver. Got a great car and got a great team. Great pit crew, great crew chief, great spotters. Not a surprise whatsoever. 3,806. Holy moly. Let's go, baby. Who knows how high we'll get? Logano, Cindric, Byron, Bowman, McDowell in your top 5. Busch, Jones, Larson, Reddick, and Napa know-how. My guy, Chase Elliott, there in 10th. Can we get past 4,000? 3,774. Can we get to 5,000? Let's go. Can't wait till next week. Homestead, Miami. And again, when you work hard and you put in a lot of that effort and energy, you get rewarded. And again, first time on the channel doing trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. I have no regrets. We actually got pretty good views out of the Xfinity and the trucks, and it probably won't be the last time that we do the trifecta. Let's go, baby. 4,174. Let's keep it moving. 25 laps in out of stage 1 here out of 80. 267 total, no rain on the horizon. And we're at 10 from Odin's son, 90 to go on the Dono train. Appreciate you very, very much, man. Especially with a vet visit for Paisley here on Wednesday. It definitely is going to come in handy. Look at Blaney, started 36, and in a blink of an eye in 25 laps, 19th. That's like some Dale Earnhardt shit right there. Wow, incredible. He's just mowing down every driver on every single lap. Incredible. Logano, Cindric in first and second. Blaney's like, hey, I'm trying to get to third, but I started off in the back. And based on how he's driving, he might be able to get there. A little commercial break. Wow, good action out of the gate. You normally don't see, a driver, go from the back, toward the middle of the pack or, towards the front this quick. But that's Ryan Blaney for you. Let's go. Chasing 10th, baby. Napa know-how. You know it. You got to give Chase some love. I like the way that the thumb turned out here this week. Let's go, baby. Pace looking clean in that HD 4K. Let's go. So clean. And we got to throw Chase and Bill in there as well for good luck. Let's go, baby. Bill and Chase. Napa know-how. Great start. Napa know-how. Bowman in third, Byron in fourth. Very strong today. Larson in 8th, Chase in 10th. All Hendrick Motorsports in the top 10. I love it. Panthers in the building. What's good? 5,163. Let's go. Who knows how high we can get? 6,000? 7,000? 10,000? Oh, my. That's why it's so important to be able to hit the algorithm as quick as we can, with likes and subs and donos and comments. You just never know when things are going to end up going your favor. NASCAR.com, undefeated with their updates. That's 100% true. Panthers fan with a tour. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack bang bang. You said you and your dad and your family loves Fords. You got a particular driver or whatever you want to represent on the channel here today. It doesn't have to be racing. If you want to do a Panthers player, I'm down with that as well. But you let me know what you would like, and I got you. Panthers fan with a tour. Appreciate you. Let's get this dono train going. Your late grandfather, rest in peace. Ford man, Mark Martin. Yeah. Well, Mark Martin was very, very likable. I don't think there really was anyone that could say a bad thing about Mark Martin. He just definitely added something that was missing to the sport. And even though he didn't win maybe as often as Martin fans wanted, he won enough to end up, giving himself a fantastic reputation. And we got Blaney. Uh-oh, he's got car trouble. Fuck! Oh, that's not good, especially going from the back and into the middle of the pack. Uh-oh. That's tough. He said a $2 holla. You want some Big Bad Brad? I got you. Uh-oh, Blaney. That's tough. This car was so good, too, early on. Oh, caution is out. Tire on the track. Uh-oh. Is that Briscoe's tire? Oh, Kyle Busch in the lead. $5,573. How high can we go? 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000? Let's go, baby. A throwback there. NASCAR champion, Big Bad Brad. Taking off the track on a stretcher after his cooling suit fails. That's from where this particular race is from. Back in the day. Appreciate you. Yeah, Mark Martin is like the equivalent of Tim Duncan, in the NBA. Classy guy, when he won, classy when he lost, didn't make excuses, did everything the right way, extremely likable. And again, a lot of people love LeBron, but if you're really looking at a forward, as being one of the best of all time, not to say that LeBron hasn't made other players better, but I think that Tim Duncan kind of did everything the right way. And I know, obviously, Spurs fans will go Duncan over LeBron. Some people will go LeBron over Duncan, and I get that, based on the points and, the rebounds and the assists. But, again, you didn't ever see Tim Duncan flop, and make it about himself. He was the ultimate team guy, and I can appreciate that. Mark Martin, the same type of thing. Always, clean, but aggressive, but did it the right fucking way. And everyone, has that, ego to a certain point, so to speak. But again, sometimes guys get humbled and realize it, and then they end up changing for the better. And I'm not sure if we can say that necessarily about LeBron, but Tim Duncan, what a class act. Mark Martin, what a class act. Chase all the way up to second, baby. I love that. Let's go. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Nampa know-how in second. Tyler Reddick, Josh Berry in third and fourth. Bubba Wallace in fifth. AJ Allmendinger, Carson Hocevar in seventh. Christopher Bell, back-to-back-to-back winner. Cole Custer, Noah Gragson, and then on the outside looking in, obviously now with a little bit of a shift, AJ Allmendinger, and then now Chase goes from second to seventh to eighth, and then now all the other cars are adjusting based off position. 36 laps in here out of 80. Let's go. Yeah, I would highly recommend going to NASCAR.com like I am as well. You know, depending on if you're watching it on a computer or on a TV. You know, there's multiple ways to be able to watch the broadcast, but you know, you can definitely watch along and follow along with everything that I got on screen, and you can do that for yourself, obviously, at home as well. Absolutely, Pepsi. I 100% agree. I think Kyle Busch has been very, very close, and I definitely think he is one of the favorites here today. You got to go with the Hendrick Motorsport cars, not necessarily maybe Chase, or even maybe Larson for that matter, but Byron and Bowman have looked pretty good. Busch obviously cannot be overlooked. He's getting very, very close. Winning a truck race a couple weeks ago, and it's taken some time, with this next gen car compared to the previous, it's definitely hurt guys like, Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott. They seemed like they were, figuring it out on the last car, and then now having to move to this, gen car, it's definitely taken some of these drivers a little bit longer, to be able to kind of find, the style of racing that they're going to need to be able to be as dominant as they were in the previous car. So I definitely think that Busch, 100% Pepsi. I think he definitely has a chance for Rowdy Nation to be victorious here in the winner's circle, 100%. And I've been saying that for the last couple weeks. Whether you like Rowdy or you hate him, whether you root for him or you hoping for that he wrecks and his day is over. The guy is an incredible, incredible driver. And again, anytime you end up also switching teams, switching numbers, this is no longer the M&M car, that he has to be able to recognize, that time has come and gone, and now you're going to have to try to make a legacy out of the new number. Yeah, and that's why I think Hendrick Motorsports, if anyone knows the history, they're very, very dominant on this track in Vegas. So they have to be the front runner to win, but then there'll be a few other guys like Kyle Busch that we mentioned that should have a chance. We're at 12, 88 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get, obviously, higher on the number count. We're at, 5,581. Maybe we'll be able to get to 10,000 if we're lucky here today. And, again, we're going to have a great one. We did the trucks. Fantastic. We did Xfinity yesterday. Fantastic. And now we're here for the trifecta here for the NASCAR Cup Series in the Pennzoil 400 in Las Vegas. Cindric, Bowman, Logano, Busch, and Mr. Napa know-how, my favorite, Chase Elliott in the top five. Reddick, Wallace, Berry, Allmendinger, and Bell. And the last time I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that we've seen someone go back to back to back to back to win 4 races in a row. Guess who? Jimmy Johnson, 2007. I don't think Christopher Bell will win today, but I don't think anyone expected him to win last week. So you never know. Anything is possible when you're flying high with momentum. When you got Uncle Mo on your side and you got a great driver, you got the confidence through the roof, right? You got a great car, you got a great pit crew. Everyone is flying high. And obviously, the team knows there's going to be a time where they struggle, like last April, for that particular team. But we'll see how things go here this afternoon. MLB World Tour Tokyo Series, Tuesday, 3 a.m. Will I wake up and watch? I'm not sure. I might, but I'm not going to stream it, though. STL with a $5. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, I saw some footage on social media, with a drone shot. Man, prayers up for everyone that had to go through that. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack bang bang. Let me know what you want to do for photos. You got a favorite driver that you want to represent here today, STL? Let me know, and I got you. We're at 17. 73 to go. I'm gonna go grab my drink here real quick from the freezer. Napa know-how. Two-lap penalty for Briscoe for that tire getting away from him. Denny Hamlin speeding. That's like Connor, obviously, in that Xfinity race. Got to be careful. Reed Timmer, got you. Uh-oh. Man, Kyle Busch has got the worst fucking luck. I swear, they just need to go back to the fucking old number and the M&Ms, man. Like, things are just not the same, besides, going back into time with the 18 and the M&Ms, man. It's just rough for him. Get you with a couple of Reed here. Try and get you one more here real quick. All right, here we go. Green flag racing. We're back. Appreciate you. Stay safe out there. And obviously on this particular page that I'm on, it'll go over all the updates, based on, caution laps, wrecks, penalties. Everything is updated in real time, and literally real time for the most part. Bowman, Cindric, Napa know-how. Chase Elliott in third. I love that. Bubba in fourth. Logano in fifth. Reddick moving up to fifth now. Joey Logano down to sixth. Barry in seventh. Allmendinger in eighth. Christopher Bell in ninth. And Noah Gragson in 10th. A nice collection of Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, and Ford in your top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 Fords, 3 Toyotas, and only 3 Chevys with Bowman, Elliott, and Allmendinger at the moment. Carson Hocevar on the outside looking in. "36 laps to go in stage 1. Cindric up front. Bowman, Elliott, Wallace, Logano in your top 5. Barry, Allmendinger, Reddick, Bell, and Hocevar moving up to 10th. William Byron on the outside looking in at 11th, and he'll be back into the top 10, hopefully up into the top 5 sooner than later. Yeah, same birthday as me, my guy. May 2nd is a special birthday. I don't know why certain individuals are born on that day. You know, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Pat McAfee, right? There's quite a few big names. Kyle Busch joining the May 2nd birthday trip. I'm 3 years older than Kyle Busch, huh? That's a special day, baby. May 2nd babies. Something about that day. Don't know what, but something special. 33 to go. Cindric, Bowman, Elliott, Wallace, Logano in your top 5. Barry, AJ Allmendinger, Carson Hocevar moving up the top 10 all the way up to 8th. Nice. Reddick in 9th and Christopher Bell in 10th. Teammates there in Toyota. Cindric leading 9 laps up to this point. Bowman starting 6th. And again, like I mentioned in the pre-race, I told y'all, you know, Bowman was looking very, very good. And we'll see if we can keep Chase up. Started 16th, currently 3rd, you know, and again, I thought it would take a little bit more time for Chase to, you know, kind of climb the ladder, so to speak. But I'm very happy to see him in the top 3. Yeah, Barry's killing it. Barry getting a little loose. Surprised to see Allmendinger there in the top 10. And Hocevar has been making some strides, you know, each week. And again, you know, very, very young. But again, at some point or another, you know, you're going to get the youth movement. You're going to get guys that are kind of out the door, like a Martin Truex Jr., and it's going to, you know, leave the door open for someone to be able to, you know, make a name for themselves. And again, a couple weeks back, you know, Hocevar pissed off, you know, some people, you know, being aggressive. But again, when you're young, you know, you're not going to know everything, and it's going to take experience, you know, and be able to, you know, learn what to do and what not to do. But I think Hocevar has got a pretty bright future. .28 to go here in stage 1. Cindric, Bowman, Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano in your top 5. Barry, Allmendinger, Reddick, Hocevar, Larson in your top 10. William Byron in 11th. So you got all of the Hendrick Motorsport cars in the top 11. Chelsea Green in the building, and Morgan Freeman. How cool is that? Hamlin's going to be 45. How many more years do you think he'll race full time? That's a great question. It really depends on, you know, Denny himself. I think that he definitely could go, you know, for quite a few more years. You know, but it's probably a personal thing, you know, for him, legacy, you know, trying to win a championship, getting more wins, you know, under the belt, you know, and he still is, you know, one of the, you know, probably top 15, you know, drivers, you know, week in and week out. You know, he's not necessarily going to be the favorite every week. You know, he definitely has some tracks that he's better at than others, just like every other driver. Yeah, but I could definitely see him driving, you know, for the foreseeable future. I mean, unless he wants to walk away, you And then any of these guys that are in the kind of OGs, they can always go into the broadcast booth or work with NASCAR, depending on how well spoken they are. But what I will say is that Kyle Busch, when he's done racing, he's got an automatic job in the booth. He's awesome. Like if you ended up watching the broadcast yesterday for Xfinity, he's a natural. And I don't have TikTok. I never will, download it or use it. But I know that him and his family are on there, and he's very well spoken. He's got a good personality. Yeah, he's rowdy. Not everyone's going to like him. But if you listen to how he speaks, and his tonality, his cadence, his knowledge, 100%, you're going to be able to see him in there. And, I think that just based on what I saw yesterday, he's 1,000 times better than Clint Boyer and Jamie McMurray already. He's money. And again, Carl Edwards is another guy, that definitely is good on the mic as well. You're going to see Dale Jr. obviously call some races once we go from Fox, to NBC or FS1 to NBC. So, everyone's going to, have, their favorites, based off personality, car, sponsors. But Busch is amazing. And again, once he's done, automatically he'll be in the booth. You watch and wait, whenever that may be, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the Busch will be obviously in the broadcast booth, and he will be awesome at his job. I was so impressed with him yesterday. And again, I always give everyone, a fair shake. I want to be able to, even if it's not like my favorite driver, I want to be able to give everyone a fair shot. And I was definitely very impressed with his performance in the booth yesterday. Oh, yeah, Prime Video. That's right. And then we have the Prime special with Dale Earnhardt and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. Definitely can't wait for that. Who's going to be in the NBC crew? Have they laid out who the individuals are going to be calling that? 6,770. Let's get that to 10, baby. Cindric, Bowman, Elliott, Wallace, Barry, Logano, Allmendinger, Larson, Reddick, Carson, Hocevar in 10th, William Byron on the outside looking in. 19 laps to go until stage 1 is complete. And then Dale Jr. does Dirty Mo and, does a couple podcasts and whatnot. And, Dale Jr. is great, to be able to just hear his insight. And, sometimes he's on there with his wife. They had another pod, where you could watch, with video with Carl Edwards and a few of the others, old school drivers and whatnot. And it's cool about the conversations that come up, when you end up watching. $18 to go. Cindric, Bowman, Napa, no, how? Steadily keeping his position in 3rd. That's my guy. Let's go. Bubba Wallace, Josh Berry in 4th and 5th. Allmendinger, Logano, Larson moving up to 8th. Reddick and Hocevar in 9th and 10th, and William Byron in 11th. They need more camera angles like this, throughout the broadcast. Like, even if you end up just watching like F1 for a little bit, like, we need to be able to have more in-car camera, action. But I guess that's why they ended up doing that HBO Showtime deal, so that way you would have to pay, when it was actually available for free back in the day. And then, you got to pay to be able to get the better camera angles and whatnot. And I like to be able to hear the radio of certain guys with communications, with the crew chief or, the spotters and whatnot. And it's not like the broadcast, is terrible for Fox or NBC, and then obviously we're going to have some on Prime. But if you go back and watch a race in the 90s and the 2000s, even the Crank It Up and everything else, it was just laid out so much better. And again, maybe it's just because I'm biased because I like Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds. That's my guy. And obviously DW, with Darrell Waltrip. But I don't know if you're ever going to have a broadcast as good as those three back in that time period. To me, that was by far the best. $14 to go. They got Busch. Busch already climbing up to 22nd after having that problem. And I just want to, regardless if you like Busch or not, I don't know if I'm the only one. And again, not a lot of people, unless you're a super fan, right, with the Busch Bros. But I miss Kurt, and obviously the concussions made him retire early. But it just kind of feels like, he had a few years left. And he was still good enough where he could have won, like a race or two, maybe not every single year, but it kind of felt like, he was still kind of in the mix. And I don't know, I feel like racing is a little bit, like something is a little missing. And I wish Kurt and Kyle were out there together still. 12 to go, 68 laps in here into stage one out of 80. And it's been pretty easy going in green flag racing up to this point. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help your boy out. There's Christopher Bell in 11th. Cindric, Bowman, Elliott, Wallace, Larson. Larson all the way up to 5th, the highest position that he's had up to this point in stage one. Barry, Allmendinger, Logano, Reddick, Hocevar in your top 10. Christopher Bell on the outside looking in. And I'll be honest, this is the first race in the 2025 season that I've seen such a drastic mix of Toyota, Fords, and Chevys in the top 10. Like normally, it's pretty dominated by one manufacturer, and then the other two might have a couple, or you might only have like one Toyota there or one Ford. But, starting at the top, you got Ford, 2 Chevys, a Toyota, 2 Chevys, 2 Fords, a Toyota, a Chevy, and then a Toyota in 11th. So a nice mix, of Chevy, Ford, and Toyotas, about 3 cars apiece, 3 or 4, all battling it out here. And Austin Cindric with that clean air has been very dominant. If we don't have anything coming out caution-wise, he should be able to win stage one. He's been dominant up to this point. But Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott are not that far behind. Yes, I like, if you're actually looking at how many seconds behind, you're looking at what, 0.3, 0.4 out of Bowman, right? And then Chase only a little over a second behind, and then Bubba 2, and then it has a little bit of a gap, 4, 5, and 6 for Larson, Allmendinger, and Barry, as well as Logano. Yeah, it is pretty rare, to start a race and then be up front, all day and then end up winning it, and again, you're going to see, people lead 80 laps, 100 laps, sometimes 120, and then they don't win. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and you just got to hope that, one thing it does tell you early on, your car is really good, in clean air, the car is good. Obviously, the setup is great, and obviously if you qualified fast and you were in the top 10, you have a good car, especially with as many drivers that are going to be on the track, and also looking at past history on, how you tune up that car for that particular track. And Penske right now, first. And then where did they have? Did he drop a spot or two? Oh, here they have Gibbs up here next. But Cindric looking for teammates to catch up. Yeah, but it's rare. I mean, we're talking about how often do you start a race, stay up front, and then, and lead every single lap. I mean, it's, not a common thing for sure. But one thing is for sure, if you look at the history of this race, it's dominated by Hendrick Motorsports. And they're not going to dominate every track. But again, every Hendrick Motorsport driver has a chance to win this race here today. Obviously sharing setups and whatnot. 4 to go. Cindric, Bowman, Elliott, Wallace, Larson in your top 5. Allmendinger, Logano, Barry, Reddick, and Carson Hocevar in the top 10. And I know Carson is extremely young, but it's impressive to see him, in the top 10 almost every week at some point in the race. And obviously you want to have good finishes at the end, but, I like what I'm seeing out of Carson, being a young gun. Three to go for stage 1. Wow, that's wild. 394 out of 400. Now, did he win the pole? And was he up front, or was he like in second, third, and fourth, and then ended up taking the lead and then never lost it? Like, when's the last time a driver had the pole and then led every single lap and won the race? Did Burton have the pole at New Hampshire 20 years ago? I mean, talking about like the trifecta, getting the pole, and then obviously winning stage 1, 2, 3, and then, leading every single lap. It almost sounds like impossible, right? It seems like someone would have to be like a Richard Petty or a Dale Earnhardt type to do something like that, or like a Jimmy or Jeff. 1 to go. Cindric should win here, stage 1. Got a little bit of a gap on Bowman and Elliott here. But I love seeing Chase in the top 3. I would have been happy with him in the top 10 right now. Even top 5, I would be ecstatic, but top 3, it's early, but that's a good sign that the car and Chase, obviously everything is going maybe better than planned. Final lap here. Let's go, Chase. Napa know-how. Especially when you start 15th to 20th, in a track like this, sometimes it takes a little time, to move up. And watching the trucks and the Xfinity Series, it was hard for those guys, and of course these guys here in the Cup Series are more skilled than the trucks drivers and the Xfinity drivers. I get it. But it really does show you the skill set of how great the Cup drivers truly are. Cindric winning stage 1, very dominant up front in that discount tire. Jeff Burton in 2000. And hopefully we have a good slate for Monday Night Raw tomorrow. We'll be doing that tomorrow. And then we'll see what we have on tap for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Could be wrestling, could be MLB, could be NBA, could be NHL, and it could be March Madness as we get towards the end of the week. So we'll be grinding it out on many different events. Let's go, baby. I need a race for points. I need a dub. Bowman Gray was great, and that got me hyped up. But again, an exhibition race doesn't give you points during the regular season. I need points. This is what I need right here, baby. Been a minute. Let's go. Oh, wow. Okay. I remember that. God, it's been 25 years? Holy moly. Cindric, Bowman, Elliott, Wallace, Larson, Almendinger, Logano, Barry, Hocevar, Bell with Reddick on the outside looking in. Talk to him, Jamie. Over the wall, gang. I like being able to see these guys, that are the front tire changers, the gas man, the jack man, again, and a lot of these guys, believe it or not, come out of, college, playing football, and then depending on if, they're able to make the NFL or not, some of those guys that are athletes that play, football or rugby or baseball or basketball, every once in a while, you'll end up getting some of those guys that will try to join, teams like this. And, that's a smart decision by them, especially if you love racing. Got to have that strength. Not everyone can be a pit crew member. 100%. Facts. Pit road, pit road, pit road. Hit the pits, hit the pits. Let's go, Chase. Where are we going? 4 tires. Little rear adjustment possibly. Get that gas in there. Let's go. Good pit. Bowman with the vibration. Get that fixed. Race out of pit road. It's furious. Chase, baby. Woo! Chasing first. Let's go. I told you that was a good stop. 4 tires, a little rear adjustment it looked like, and then plenty of that Sunoco fuel. Get that in there, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo! I love seeing Chase up front. It's been a minute. Even at any given point in a race, it feels like it's been a minute since Bowman Gray. So I love seeing Chase at the top, even if it's only for a little bit. But he's going to have a chance today. Chase Elliott after the pits. Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, Kyle Larson, his teammate up there in 5th. Alex Bowman, his other teammate up there in 6th. Josh Berry, Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, Daniel Suarez sighting in 10th, and then Carson Hocevar, being a young gun, he always is just hovering, somewhere between like 5th and 11th place. Rare to see a young gun do that. We're about a third of the way with the race at this point. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help your boy out. Every like matters. Every sub matters. Every comment matters. Stand with Ukraine, how are you, my guy? Odin, what's on slate for wrestling this week? Through our little app and whatnot. Do we got anything intriguing coming up this week? I don't think that they've announced what the card is for Raw tomorrow, but we'll end up doing that tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll have a decent card, and then we'll see what else we got, throughout the week. Race is going good. Hendrick Motorsports is very dominant at this track, so you have all 4 guys. For the most part, have been in the top 10. As you see, Chase here after the pit in 1st, Larson in 4th, Bowman in 5th. And even though you don't see William Byron, he has been hovering, somewhere between 5th and 11th for a majority of this race. It's been good. Again, and we also did the trucks and the Xfinity. So, again, when I tell people that I love racing, I really, truly mean it. I don't lie on this channel. What you see is what you get. And I would be watching, the races myself, if I didn't have this channel for sure, from beginning to end. See, this needs to be me one of these days. I need to be like on top of an RV, drinking beer, eating hot dogs and burgers, and just slamming down the beers. This little spot right here where McMurray and Myers are, it's always been kind of a dream of mine, to be able to go to a cup race. I don't need to dress like Elvis like these guys behind him, but slamming some beers down, being on top of a Winnebago, and just eating the hamburger, hot dogs, and slamming the Budweiser's back, baby. Finn versus Breaker. Oh, that'll be good. And now they're having some of these other guys kind of thin out as Chase goes from 1st out of the top 10. Come on. Wallace, Cindric, Larson, Bowman, Berry. Hey, it was short-lived, but I'll take it. Logano, Bell, Suarez, Hocevar, Allmendinger. That would be a sweet spot to watch a race right there. I mean, I don't know. There's a little bit too many people up there, for my liking. I would want a little bit of my personal space and whatnot, but again, to be able to have that view of the cars and the track, look at Elvis. They love it. That guy's living his best life. All right, what's going on with Chase? Fuck! Pit road penalty. Too fast. Son of a bitch. Come on, Chase. Especially, working his way all the way to the front, man. Fuck. And again, it's, Chase is a popular driver. We know that. But again, week in and week out, it hasn't really been that pretty for him. Getting spun out on the first lap by Ross Chastain a couple weeks and then still end up, having a nice top 10 finish. We know Chase can get top 10s, but when you're a driver of that caliber, it ain't necessarily about top 10s. You'll take it, point-wise, but you're looking for top 5s and you're looking for wins. Facts. Look at the rubber. Debris. Son of a bitch. Just when he was able to get up there. I still believe Chase. Yeah, how are you going to have 2 speeding penalties? Come on, Chase, you're better than that. I still have confidence that he'll be able to make his way back up to the top 10. All right, we're in the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. Stage 2. Wallace, Larson, Cindric, Logano, Byron in your top 5. Barry, Bell, Allmendinger, Daniel Suarez, and look who. Ross Chastain, public enemy number 1, making his way up to the top 10. And anytime you feel like Hocevar is not going to be like relevant, he still is just like always stuck in that spot. 7 through 11. You don't really see him move out of there. Just now he did with Reddick moving up. But we'll see if Hocevar can regain that position. Breaker and Finn. Penta, Ludwig Kaiser, Uso in theory, Dakota Kai, and that's a good card. I'm ready for it. And then obviously we're going to end up getting Ray Phoenix at some point. Bowman. Oh, shit. Another Hendrick Motorsport car. What's the issue with Bowman? This isn't good. Some type of vibration that they have to fix. But Larson and Byron are holding it down for Hendrick Motorsports. $93 laps in out of 267. Bubba taking advantage of that clean air. Larson's very, very close. Only 0.3 seconds behind. And then you see Joey Logano making his way towards the front, as well as Christopher Bell. Wallace, Larson, Logano, Bell, Byron. What a squad. Cindric, Barry, Allmendinger, Chastain, Hocevar in your top 10, with Tyler Reddick in that Toyota on the outside looking in. Where the hell is Chase Elliott at now after all this bullshit? Where are you, Chase? Where the hell are you? He's definitely not in the top 20. Where are you? Elliott in 27th. Fuck. Back in the pack with the scrubs. Come on, Chase. And where is Ryan Blaney at? Starting in the back, then gotten, about to like the middle of the pack and had some issues. Where is Ryan Blaney? I imagine he's probably near Chase's number, but let's see when they flip the graphic. Where are you? Oh, yeah, that's right. Chief in the building. What's good? I see you been eating good, my guy. You want to explain what that was on that plate? All the food that you had? It looked fabulous, man. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Hey, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $4 holla. Every dollar counts. I got a vet appointment for my pup, on Wednesday, so it probably is going to cost me like $200-300, which is definitely going to put a little pinch on me. But anything that we can get support-wise will definitely help towards that. What's good, Chief? We're at 21, 79 to go. Just grinding it out, doing the trucks, Xfinity, now the Cup Series, Monday Night Raw tomorrow, possibly, but it will be at noon because we're at a the European tour. So that is unfortunate. So maybe we won't do Monday Night Raw. If Monday Night Raw was on at 5, that's like the perfect time. But Monday Night Raw on noon, I mean, the only people that will probably be able to watch is like me and Odin. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to pivot. That's the only downside when they have the European tour. The crowd is much better than the America, stadiums and venues that they end up booking, for wherever they go. The crowds are amazing, but time difference is terrible. Let me know what you want to do for a photo or two, and I got you. Fried fish, mac and cheese, yams, and greens look delicious, man. Now, was that like homemade, or you guys got it at a restaurant? Or where did you get your food from? Yeah, and especially for, on our phones, we're going to know all the fucking outcomes, even when we're not trying to look at that. Yeah. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. Local owned chain in KC. Is it your first time? Is it your first time eating there, or is that like a regular staple for you guys there, Chief? Yeah, that's got to be rough. You got like the weirdest times here in America, if they're going to be in Europe from that time period. Darlington. Oh, we're going to Homestead, Miami, baby. But no truck race, huh? Or no, we do have a truck race. Truck race on Friday, Xfinity on Saturday, Cup race on Sunday. We're over 7,000. Let's see if we can get to 10,000, baby. You've been there a few times. It was recommended a while ago. Nice. What would you grade the meal? 1 to 10. And then with the fried fish and whatnot, how do you eat it? Do you dip it in a sauce, or do you just eat it with it breaded the way that it comes? I mean, everyone's got different preferences, depending on where they live. Me out here in Oregon on the West Coast compared to people that are in the Midwest or in the East Coast or the South. Larson up front, finally. Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Joey Logano in your top 5. What a powerhouse 5 right there. Josh Berry, Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, AJ Allmendinger, and Carson Hocevar is like a fly that will not go away. Top 10 for the young gun. Ross Chastain in 11th. Ooh, fridge full of homemade desserts. That sounds amazing. So Cole's got, 2 races that are good for you? $106 laps in. Not halfway, but we're getting there. 26 laps in the 85 here in stage 2. An 8 overall. Fish and yams. Mac and cheese wasn't to your liking? And greens weren't good enough for you? And usually a spot will have a specialty on what they, not every spot that's got a good main meal are going to have amazing sides. It's pretty rare, to find where it's just amazing everything. Sometimes there's going to be a little bit of a drop off, on some of the sides. So good sides are hard to come by, baby. Larson, Bell, Wallace, Byron, and Barry in your top 5. Logano, Reddick, Cindric, Allmendinger, and Hocevar in your top 10. And you're starting to see the Chevys and the Toyotas up front, but you got a couple Fords in Barry, Logano, and Cindric that have to say otherwise. Chase the 22nd. Let's move, baby. Let's move. Uncharacteristic speeding penalties at a Chase. He's like, he didn't have one in like 100 fucking races, and then he's had 2 in the last 3 weeks. Like, what the hell's going on here? Oh, we got a caution. Uh-oh. Man, he has bailed again in the Red Bull. Shane. That 2023 Chicago Street Race winner. I remember watching that race. And he's got a tired guy. Caution is at. Yeah. Make sure you send me photos of the other food items that you try, man. I don't usually get too many people that will do that. You and Shep, but Shep mentally isn't and not in a very good place, and hopefully he'll be able to come through and hang out with us and whatnot. But I know he's he had a family member go missing, and then he also had one of his best friends from his childhood die. So I know he's mentally not in a very good spot. But I always try to reach out to him here and there and check up on him. But hopefully he'll be back on the channel sooner than later. Plus, also being underappreciated at work, not ideal either. So, Larson, Bell, Wallace, Byron, and Barry in your top 5. Logano, Reddick, Cindric, Allmendinger. And now we have a little bit of a shift. Wallace, Logano, Reddick, Cindric, Hocevar, Chastain, Busch, finally up to 7th. Let's go, Kyle. Rowdy. Flores, Dylan, Eric Jones. First time that we're seeing Todd Gilliland on the outside looking in. That road is open. $21.79 to go. Let's go, baby. I like that Interstate Batteries color of that car. Gives you kind of Mountain Dew vibes, based off the color. I see you, Christopher Bell. Gives me Mountain Dew vibes and Bobby Lavani vibes from back in the day with that color. No speeding. He said last day for $3, son of Baconator. Oh, you better go. You better go. Well, I'm happy that we ended up getting a little bit of the algorithm. You never know, when it's going to come and it's going to go. Sometimes it'll be for a short period of time. Sometimes it'll be for half of the race. Sometimes it'll be the whole race, whatever it may be. But nice to be able to see a little bit of a boost and whatnot. And again, it's just about hitting the algorithm, getting the right amount of people to smash that like button early, so that way, once we get to 20, everything is, smooth sailing from there. But, for us, we didn't even get to 20, and we ended up hitting the algorithm, which was nice. And we've been able to hit the algorithm in Oregon Duck Streams, for a few times. And obviously in the NASCAR Cup Series, we've been able to hit the algorithm already 3 times early in the season, which is a good sign for us here on the channel. It's crazy, man. You just never know where it's going to come, when it's going to come, or if it's going to be for a little bit of time or a long. But I love it, man. You just want to get more eyeballs on your product, and then hopefully you're going to get some people that are going to come and go. Some are going to be bots, they're going to come and go, but you're also going to get a few newbies to be able to hang out and spend some time, which is always great. Yeah, like I said, hitting the algorithm, and sometimes, you're going to have that algorithm, hit, and, we were up to like 7, and that was the highest that we've ever been, again, as far as NASCAR, again, we hit over 2,000, in the algorithm a couple times early on, but then today we had over 7, and then, there's going to be, times where we're going to be over 10,000. You just never know when it may be. Like with the Oregon Ducks, stream, 10 to 15,000, it may not be for, the whole game or whatnot, but you just never know when things might, end up popping in for you. Nah, you're good, my guy. You're good. again, sometimes the algorithm stays, sometimes it comes and goes. It might come back. Again, that's why it's just important, for people to support when they can and whatnot. But we have over 1,600, views, which is nice already at this point. So, and then we peaked over 7,000. So. Anything that can help the channel overall, Cutting up on the left side. Bubba Byron, Larson, Reddick, Barry, Kosovar, all the way up to 6. Woo! Suarez, Almendinger, Logano, Gregson, and Chris Busher. We have a Busher sighting. Got to tighten those lug nuts. Let's go, baby. Tampa know how. Yeah, Bubba with the Toyota. About 20 more laps and we'll be about halfway. Pretty smooth sailing race up to this point. More enjoyable than the trucks and the Xfinity, just because of the talent that you have there on the track. But I do love the trucks and the Xfinity. It gives me something to get excited about every week. All right, back to green. All right, man. Beat some ass in Madden. Go get you a son of Baconator, maybe 2, maybe 3. Take advantage. Shit, I haven't had Wendy's in, I couldn't even tell you, years. Oh, we hit a wall. Oh, tire. Oh, wheel. Holy shit. Oh, and of course it's Busch. No. Dude, I swear to God, Kyle Busch has got the worst fucking luck on this team and this fucking car. Go back to the 18 M&Ms. I feel so bad for this guy. Golly. Wife has got to be frustrated. He's got a beautiful wife. Beautiful kids. Rowdy. I know Kurt be rooting for him too, even though he's not racing anymore. How the hell does that happen? And I'm telling you, with this next gen car, this is, these are things that typically do not happen to Kyle Busch on the regular. Last season was really rough, and it seems like this season the same type of shit is happening. I don't know if it was the mystique of the M&M car, but man, I've seen more hiccups and just unfortunate bad luck with Kyle in the last 2 years combined than anything that he had happen to him in his whole career at M&M's. In that 18. Holy cow. Worst fucking luck. And again, he's not like my personal favorite, but it's like kind of like a Joey Logano where like I respect them, but man, I feel for the guy. That sucks. It's like you don't have to like a guy, but you can still finish in the top 5 or top 10 as long as it's not affecting your fucking driver, your favorite, right? Like, man, that stinks. Fucking he not only lost the rubber, like the whole fucking tire just fell off. How does that fucking happen? Christ. Oh yeah. I mean, I to be honest, I think he's starting to get used to it. Like he's trying to block it out, but it's like when you have, you want positive thinking and you want to talk positive about yourself. You don't want to talk negative because talking negative, brings negative energy, and you want to be positive. But man, I don't think I've seen anyone with worse luck in NASCAR in the last 2 years than Kyle Busch. I mean, this is a guy that should be winning a race every year minimum, but he's got the talent to win 2 to 5 every year. But ever since, changing teams and moving off the M&M sponsorship, things have not been pretty. Yeah, but it's okay, Cole. Not every prediction that you're going to have is going to pan out. But again, at least you can have a prediction rooting for your favorites, like Christopher Bell and Eric Jones, and rooting for your favorites. Sometimes it's going to be in your favor. Christopher Bell, one of your favorites, back to back to back, right? So. Maybe we shouldn't even, be predicting anything for Kyle Busch, and then eventually he'll end up winning. Rough. Yeah. Well, I think predicting NASCAR is almost impossible. I mean, it's one thing by luck, if you have a prediction of your favorite driver, sometimes it's going to happen, but if you're not predicting, your favorite driver, it's tough. It's not like someone is a goddamn NASCAR guru that's going to pick the winner every week. A lot of times it's one of the hardest things to do, because you just don't know how the race is going to play out with big wrecks. Are they going to be available and in the top 10 late to have a chance? No one really knows. So Busch has got 63 Cup wins, most among active drivers. He ranks 9th all time on the all-time win list. And he's got 232 NASCAR wins over everything. That's insane. Cup Series, Xfinity, Truck, 63 with Cup, 102 with Xfinity, 67 with Truck. Fucking Hall of Famer. That's incredible. No one else is going to have, a stat line like that. Dominance in every one. Xfinity, Cup, and Trucks. But this year, golly, you're giving me flashbacks of last year. And even if you don't like him, you feel for him. I knew Kyle Busch had a lot of wins in Xfinity and Truck, but I didn't realize that many. Holy cow. And his son will be a driver. I don't know. I just looked it up on Google, and that's what it said. It said 63 wins in Cup, 102 for Xfinity, 67 in Truck. That's just on Google. So unless Google is wrong, but typically Google, I would assume, is correct. And then just a breakdown of wins. Richard Petty won with 200 wins. Ridiculous. Number 2, David Pearson, stud, 105, number 2. Third, Jeff Gordon with 93. Fourth, Bobby Allison, 85 with 4. So a lot of those are like the old school. Yeah. Well, also too, Nat, man. I mean, I imagine a lot of people that aren't Justin Allgaier fans are sick of him too, because he's one of the more dominant guys, not only being popular like Chase Elliott, but he wins a lot, So again, you can tell, like, you might have another guy that races both, like Eric Almirola, that might end up, battling it out, but he definitely is the most consistent. And I imagine some of the other Xfinity drivers and maybe some of the other fans get kind of sick, but again, it's not like Allgaier has won every race or won back to back to back to start off like, someone that we know, Christopher Bell, in the Cup Series this year. But he should have won, a few of those other races in Atlanta and obviously at Phoenix. But, coulda, woulda, shoulda, and sometimes you end up getting beat, by a rival right there at the end like Almirola. But he was able to get, to victory lane yesterday. I put him on the thumb, and he got the dub. So sometimes that ends up happening. I mean, there hasn't been anyone as dominant as Allgaier over there. So, and as far as the trucks are concerned, I feel it's kind of up for grabs. There's not really necessarily one that is just going to be winning every single week, in the trucks. Also hard to handle. Oh, he dropped it. He fumbled the bag. He ain't going to the NFL. Yeah, not my favorite driver, but I mean, gosh, I don't think I have felt more empathy, sympathy, and just kind of like, yeah, just feel bad for the guy. Like and the thing is, it's not like he fell off and he's a bad driver. He's still one of the best drivers in Cup. It's just, bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. And maybe all the bad luck started happening after, JGR and then the RCR, like if you were able to keep the M&Ms, going, maybe things would be still be smooth sailing for Busch. Also not having Kurt, there too. So you got to think a lot of changes have happened within the M&M sponsorship, the new team, and not having his brother around, And again, I always enjoyed seeing the competition between the brothers. "40 laps in stage 2. Here we go. Larson, Reddick, Byron, Wallace, Suarez, Hocevar. Man, what a young gun. 6th place. Love it. Barry, Logano, Allmendinger, Ross Chastain, public enemy number 1. He might spin you out, or your favorite driver, and Chris Buescher. Oh, wow. 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide. Four wide. Come on, Chase. 14th, 13th, move up to 12. Come on, baby. Come on, Chase. Get in that top 10. Let me see you at the bottom of the screen there at 11th. Move your way up, baby. Yeah. I mean, again, he's still a Hall of Famer. And then you put the numbers, with all, the trucks, the Xfinity, and the Cup. It's amazing. $42 to go. Where are we at, Chase? 14th. Come on, baby. Move your way up. Yeah, nice to be able to see some individuals like Barry and Hocevar, kind of be in the mix. Barry, Logano, Buescher, Gragson, and Gilliland. Ford needs better drivers than just Joey. Like Joey literally is holding down Ford on his own. $40 to go in stage 2. And with another 8 laps or so, we'll be about halfway through the race. And when are we going to get the crank it up? They need to do crank it up, more than like once in a broadcast. Like, you got to give me crank it up in the first half of the race, and then give me crank it up in the end of, in the back end of the race. Yeah, I'm liking the 77 in Hocevar. I like what he's doing. Seems like every week he's in the mix. Maybe not to win the race, but to be getting top 5, top 10 finishes, and it's impressive. And Hocevar is 22. Impressive. Four wide to 3 wide. Larson, Byron, teammates up front. Reddick and Bubba Wallace right behind them. Teammates Suarez, Barry, Hocevar, Allmendinger, Chastain, Logano, Chris Buescher. Where is Chase? 14th. Come on. We got some smoke. SVG again. Oh, God. That tire is about to fall off. SVG needs to hit the pits. Hopefully he can get there before the caution comes out, so we can have at least some green flag racing. Larson, Byron, Reddick battling. 21:79 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Haven't smashed that like button yet? Please do. And it wasn't all bots. 358. Thumbs up. 359. Let's go. Algorithm, can help you out at any given moment. 1,700 plus at this point, which is a success. Come on, Chase. Yeah, I would love to see Blaney get into the top 10. $34 to go. Now 33. Reddick trying to catch Byron here. Larson, Byron, Reddick, Wallace, Suarez, Barry, Hocevar, Allmendinger, Chastain, and Chris Buescher. Blaney in 20th. Let's go. 10 more positions. Let's get Elliott and Blaney up there in the top 10. Right behind Joey Logano. Let's get him right there. Feed my pup some bananas. Your boy's got to eat a sandwich here. Drivers only? Truck race? What's going on in the Big Ten, Sarah? I got to eat my lunch here real quick so you guys don't need to see me eat. And I'll keep you updated with everything. Give me one sec here. Uh-oh, Chase. I'm eating the lunch, and then Chase is dropping in positions. I better eat quick so I can get back to it. 23 laps to go in stage 2. Wow, 2 minutes to go. Tight matchup. 21 to go. Larson, Reddick, Byron, Wallace, Suarez making a top 5 appearance. Barry, Hocevar, Almendinger, Buscher, Logano in your top 10 with Ross Chastain 11th. Where's my guy Elliott? 18th. Come on, baby. Mm. Caution is out. I'm almost done here. Larson, Byron, Reddick in your top three. All right, I'm back. Lunch was delicious. Paisley got some lunch as well. I don't think I missed anything. All right, so where are we at? 14 laps for stage 2 to end under caution. More than halfway through. 151 laps in out of 267. Napa know-how. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Yeah, Blaney frustrated, trying to work his way back up into being in a relevant position. But Blaney's in 16th. Shout out to him, man. He can get into the top 10 easily. Started 36th, highest 14th. He's 16th, and I expect a good run here by Blaney. We got 14 laps, though, in stage 2, 13 now. Ross Chastain, huh? Eric Jones. Who? Eric Jones. You don't see Eric Jones up front very often. That'll put a smile to Cole's face. Eric Jones, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Daniel Suarez, Tyler Reddick, Josh Berry. And then we have a little bit of a shift here. Obviously, they'll get all of the graphics organized there. Suarez, Reddick, Gregson with Josh Berry in 11th. Congratulations, Michigan. All right, green flag. Let's go. Mariners up 2-1 on the Reds. Let's go, baby. Pennzoil with a homer. I love that. Let's go, M's. $11 laps to go here in stage 2. Wow, 3 wide. Wow, what a move by Larson. Holy shit. Split in the middle, and that's always dangerous when you're that middle car because you just don't know. And obviously Byron isn't going to wreck him, but you have to kind of wonder, what's the 43 going to do out of Eric Jones right there? But it's always kind of a helpless position, I feel, when you're in the middle, because obviously that gap can close very quickly. $11 to go. $9 to go. $8 to go. Chastain, Byron, Larson, Jones, Wallace. Got a couple of those Toyotas up there. Hocevar, 6th place. The young gun, 22 years old. Love it. Daniel Suarez in 7th. Josh Berry in 8th. Ryan Blaney in 9th. Let's go, Ryan. And Denny Hamlin in 10th. Blaney is a wizard. fucking great seeing Blaney. Look at Blaney moving up. It's like you can, be in the back, but it doesn't mean you're going to stay in the back. And what a day for Ryan Blaney in 7th place right now. Amazing. Whoa. Six to go. Paisley's in the studio here now. She misses Dad. I don't know if Ross's car is good enough to win today. You can be up front for a few laps here and there, but I think there's quite a few cars better than him that I would take. But, obviously anytime you can be up front or in the top 5 or top 10, you're going to have a chance. Four to go here in stage 2. Byron, Larson, Chastain, Wallace, Hocevar in 5th. Wow. Blaney in 6th. Suarez in 7th. Barry in 8th. Reddick in 9th. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 10th. Mr. Spinhouse and Denny Hamlin in 11th. Three to go. You want to lay down in here? You can lay down on the couch or lay down in here, honey. Lay down. Daddy's still going to be busy for like another hour, so you need to lay down and take a nap. All right, take a nap in here or take a nap on the couch. I'll be done in about 1 hour, okay? I know, I love you. Daddy has to work. I'm almost done, okay? Why don't you lay down over here? Lay down. Yeah, I don't think anyone really predicted him winning today. Again, to win 4 races in a row hasn't been done since 2007. And really the only way that Bell maybe would have been able to win this race, more than likely, is if he had the pole. If he was, that good, going into the day, and maybe he had a great history at this track, then maybe it would be a little bit more believable, starting off on the pole or starting off in 2nd or 3rd, but that wasn't the case. So time for someone else to be able to get into victory lane. But one thing is for sure, Bell is going to get more wins in the first month than most drivers are going to have the whole season. So punching your ticket to the playoffs within the first month, nice job. And he may not be done. He may end up getting another 1, 2, 3 more wins before the season is up. And Larson winning stage 2. Larson, Byron, Chastain, Wallace, Hocevar, Blaney, Suarez, Barry, Reddick, Stenhouse, with Ryan Preece on the outside looking in. Very impressed with Hocevar being the young gun, being in the top 10 almost every week in 5th. And Ryan Blaney, the biggest surprise, being all the way in the back and then going to the middle of the pack, going all the way to the back, and now working his way up to 6th place. Nice job, Carson. Nice job, Ryan. got about 100 laps to go for this race. So probably another about an hour and 20 minutes of racing for this Sunday afternoon / evening. Cracking in the Jets later tonight at 6 p.m. So after this race is over and I take Paisley for a walk, that definitely is a game that could get ugly. Winnipeg is very good, so it could be ugly, but you never know. Blazers play the Raptors at 3, so I'll turn that on here in a minute. It's definitely a winnable game for the Blazers. And I got to check up on my Mariners here. Still up 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Let's go, Mariners. Yeah, a lot of Chevys up there in the top 10. I mean, as you see, you're only seeing 2 Toyotas with Bubba in 4th and Tyler Reddick in 9th. And then obviously with the Fords, it's just Blaney and Barry. But Priest is on the outside looking in, but he hasn't really been in that position all day. But Barry has been like Hocevar, very solid, for those individuals. Neither one is favored to win, but it's just nice to see consistency with the drivers. And I like good stories like the whole Ryan Blaney situation, going from the back to the middle to the back to the top 7, top 6. But again, for, as far as the top 10 drivers that aren't part of Hendrick Motorsports, I really like what Carson Hocevar at 22 years old has shown me in 2025 this year. Very impressed. He's racing like a vet, and he's 22. And if he keeps racing like that, he'll get a win this year. He may not be able to get more than one, but he could get one. And that would, maybe punch his ticket to the playoff. Drivers only from the Truck Series. Who we got? Harvick, Logano. Logano in the booth is good. Big Bad Brad. Cindric and Hocevar in the pits? Hell yeah. Oh, gosh, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. That should be fun. I love that they're going to have like 5 drivers involved, couple in the pits and whatnot too. Cool. Less than 100 laps to go. Yeah, first time that they've won in quite a long time. Need more of these in-car cams like this right here. They don't do this enough. Like everyone, it's like I want to be able to see like the camera looking at the driver, and then I also want the camera to be looking at the dash. And then looking forward and being able to see, all of the mechanical, besides just what you're seeing with the steering wheel. I want to see all the gauges and everything. But I think this camera angle is awesome to be able to see the driver. They should do that a hell of a lot more. And they should also sprinkle in, some communications. I don't mind hearing a couple F-bombs here and there, even if they have to bleep it out. Pit road, pit road, pit road. Hit the pits, hit the pits. Larson going in. There with William Byron. 4 tires. Sunoco fuel. And there he goes. Fuck, they blocked him. Jesus, they blocked Carson right there. Terrible. Blaney in 6th. Well, Osavar's car has been so good, so. Yeah. And even if you end up being in the couple top spots after the pit, after things cycle through after a lap or two, you'll definitely see who the big boys are. And then the guys that don't really belong up at the front will work their way out of the top 10. Paisley was in here, but I think she went to the couch. Dad has to work for a little bit longer, so I'm going to go wrap her up like a burrito, make sure she's comfy, and I'll be right back. Napa know-how. Taste, you handsome man. Let's go. All right, Chase is wrapped up snug as a bug on the leather couch. She knows Dad's got to work for at least another hour, and then we'll go for a walk. Hopefully don't get drenched. There's a few other events, obviously later this evening, that I'll tap into. Blazers here in 12 minutes, cracking on in about 3 hours. Got to get the most out of my weekend. We'll be doing Monday night. Well, I was say Monday Night Raw is going to be on at noon. If we do the actual European time, me and Odin have the link, which was at noon when they went to Barcelona. I don't know, Sarah, if you got a chance to watch SmackDown on the replay, but it was really entertaining, and that crowd was awesome. If that match lineup was in America, it would have just been like a 7. But just the fact that it had that European crowd, they haven't been to SmackDown in 6 years. It's cool to be able to feel the energy of the crowd, and going overseas is definitely a good move by Triple H and company. Facts. McDowell, Dillon, Flores, Larson, Byron, Wallace, Chastain, Blaney, Barry, Gregson in your top 10 with Priest on the outside looking in. Yeah, I don't think Dillon's car is good enough. I mean, he might be in second now, but he hasn't proven that he can be in the top 10 for a majority of this race. So wishful thinking, Pepsi, but he ain't winning this race. Still got to assume that Hendrick Motorsports, with their drivers, having 2 in the, roughly in the 10, typically 3 in the top 15, 4 in the top 20, sometimes all 4 in the top 10, but we will see. I mean, it always could end up being a random guy winning, like an Austin Dillon, but I don't think he has proven anything up to this point, that he's got a good enough car to make it, at that position, with another, 90 to 100 laps to go, but you never know. Yeah, but that doesn't matter now because we're in 2025. They might have been good back in the day, but that doesn't mean shit when you're on a different generation car. Going back to the last car, Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott were monsters. Now with this new car, they're struggling. So, just because you were good back then doesn't mean you're good now, especially with all the modifications to either the track or the cars. Every year is different, especially if they, keep modifying this, 5th gen, 6th gen, 7th generation car. Facts. Pit road problem. Cindric, Busch, Elliott, Hamlin, Blaney, Briscoe, Bell, Herbst, Bowman, and McDowell. I don't want to see fucking Chase on that list. Damn it. So that's why they're up front. They didn't fucking pit. $21 hairs, 79 to go. McDowell and Dillon rolling the dice. Suarez up there as well. But really, you know, if you're looking at the real leaders of the pack, obviously it's going to be guys like Kyle Larson, right? Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Ryan Blaney. You know, those are the guys that have been up front for the majority of the race. So it's cute. You know, you can be up there for a little bit, you know, if you decide not to pit, but eventually the cars that have the fresh tires and the adjustments are going to pass your ass. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah, like I said, it's cute, when you want to take a chance, but, old tires compared to someone that's got 4 fresh, yeah, no chance. $92 to go. Larson, Suarez, McDowell, Byron, Chastain, Wallace, Blaney, Reddick, Gregson, and Priest. And again, the big movers and shakers you should see continuing to move up the field. Blaney, Bubba Wallace. You should see them get past McDowell, Chastain, and Suarez at some point, but they take a few laps. And Hendrick Motorsports, 1 and 2, no surprise. Now I just want Chase to get up there. Chase in 19th, fucking A, right next to Hocevar. Now 20th, fuck. Come on. And how far did Bowman fall back into the field? There he is, right next to Logano and Elliott. So you got 2 cars up at the front, but then you got the other 2 cars in the top 20. We need to get Bowman and Elliott up there. They're right next to each other, but that's not where you want to be. You don't want to be in 18th, 19th, or 20th. Now, Bowman was around 20th. Chase around 18th, 19th, kind of all battling right now. So they still have quite a few positions to catch up. But luckily, about 90 laps to go. There's going to be some time to be able to make a good run. But it definitely feels like it could be like a Kyle Larson, William Byron. Like now, if there ends up not being any like big wrecks, Larson's got to be probably one of the favorites. But again, if there is a big wreck, Byron is a guy that could take advantage of that and find a way to win. Byron is always pesky, where he doesn't have to be in first place. As long as he's in the top 5 late in a race, anything can happen. And we've seen Byron find ways to, sneak to victories. And I wouldn't be shocked if Byron wins this either. Also, too, we haven't really had the big wreck. And, Vegas isn't really going to be known for the big wrecks. It's not a super speedway like Daytona. The trucks, we didn't really have it. Xfinity, we didn't really have it. And I know for a lot of us fans, we want at least a couple big wrecks in every race for the excitement factor, as long as our drivers aren't involved. But I don't know if we're going to end up getting that, 5-car wreck or the massive 10-car pileup. I don't know if it's going to happen here. It's not really necessarily the track that, usually you see that. Chase is falling back in the pack. Fuck. 22nd, you're going in the wrong direction, my guy. Larson, Byron, Suarez, Chastain, Wallace, Blaney, Reddick, Gregson, McDowell, Stenhouse. Hocevar finding his way back into the top 11. Guy has money, man. He like I said, I know when Ty Gibbs first came up and he was a baby face, there was like potential with him, but then he never really lived up to it, and he's still incredibly young. I think Hocevar is going to, be better than him, and, this might be the best young driver that we got in Cup. Carson Hocevar at 22, especially if he can end up securing a victory this year. But I've been very impressed with his early, production early in the season by Carson. Rare to see a 22-year-old this polished, this early, racing against a lot of Hall of Famers and GOATs. Blaney in 5th. Let's go. Only driver to win 4 out of the first 5, Bill Elliott, 92. Wow. Chase in 21st. I mean, if it ends up not being Hendrick Motorsports, it ends up winning. Hell, I wouldn't mind Ryan Blaney representing the Fords and winning, considering he was all the way in the back, and working his way up to the front. He hasn't had, a lot of these other drivers have not had the same kind of battles that they've had to fight with the car and the position like Blaney today. If Blaney can end up winning this race, that would be amazing. Just as far as the skill set of a driver, even if he's not a favorite, or regardless if you like Fords or not. I just appreciate greatness, and Blaney is one of the greats. Very impressive. I mean, most guys that are going to be stuck in the back of the pack, they might be able to finish 16th or 18th. You don't typically think that they're going to go from 36th to fucking 5th. That's rare air, baby. Ducks had a good record this year. I don't think it's if they are. It's what seed are they going to be? Larson, Byron, Chastain, Suarez, Blaney as they go to commercial break. Wallace, Reddick, Toyota teammates, Gregson, McDowell, and Carson Hocevar in 10th, the young gun. My best friend is at the Blazer game. He just messaged me, which reminds me I need to turn that on. Shout out to my boy Justin. That's my boy. All right, Blazers, Raptors should be able to beat them. All right, got the Blazer game on. City, baby. All right, give us some updates as we go. Anything notable, Sarah? I got the race on. Blazers and Raptors are warming up, so I get a little bit of hometown team. I can double dip. 7th caution. Oh, Cody Ware. Did the car catch fire? What happened? Oh, wow. Went backwards. The flaps up. All right, we got a couple cars hitting the pits. Daniel Suarez. William Byron. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be weird not hearing his voice. You know, shout out to Greg Gumbel. He was one of the best. You know, great energy, great vibe, good person, you know, on and off TV. It's not going to be the same without him. It almost kind of feels like the same kind of impact of ESPN losing Stuart Scott. It hasn't been the same since he passed away. Network is absolute trash now. Espen. Terrible. But shout out to Greg. He's definitely watching the selection show from heaven. He's got that heaven broadcast. Shout out to Greg. Fuck is Ty Gibbs doing? Yeah, Ty Gibbs and Hocevar, they're not on the same level. Hocevar is much better. Around your neck of the woods out there, huh? All right, baby. Raptors, Blazers at Moda. Let's go. Started 23rd for Carson Hocevar. Stage 1 10th, stage 2 10th, currently 6th. Living that Delaware life. Oh, chasing fourth. Woo-hoo-hoo. Love that. There we go. Napa, no. How? I didn't know if I was going to be able to see him up there at any point, you know, in this remainder of this race, but 77 laps to go. Chastain, Larson, Cindric, Elliott, Suarez, Byron, Blaney, Bell, Gregson, Reddick, with Bubba on the outside looking in, but Bubba will make it back up into the top 7, top 5. He's been very good today. Wow, Ware's tire just a flopping. Wow, look at that. I don't think I've seen a car wobble like that with the tire like that in a long time. Holy cow. How did it even stay on? Should have fell off. Ripping up that front fender there. Just got to hope that you don't hit a wall like you guys have within the last couple weeks. Hopefully you guys got all those losses out of your system. And it's not like Auburn would lose, you know, to like a 16 seed. But again, you know, if they don't make at least the Elite 8, it would be kind of a disappointment. You know, most people are, you know, wanting, if you're a fan of that team, obviously you want to be in the championship or, you know, bare minimum Final Four. But, you know, got to make the Sweet 16 first, then the 8, and then just kind of see where it goes. But if you guys don't make free throws, you might get bumped early. Hopefully you guys will correct that. But congrats on the number 1 seed. Wow, Cody Ware. Holy moly. Come on, Chase. 75 to go. Hell of a day for Blaney, starting 36 and in fucking 7th. Amazing. I mean, there's a reason why he won a championship. Incredibly skilled. Great team. Great people around him. Mariners up 4-1 on the Reds. Let's go, M's. Yeah, Blaney and Bell in exactly the position that you would want when, not everything really went right for those guys today. But just finding a way to, work your way back up to the front. Same thing with Chase Elliott, was up there, kind of faded out of the top 10, had to climb back, and now we're, down into the nitty gritty. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And it should be pretty exciting here for the last 70 plus laps. Good old Christopher Bella. No relation to Nikki. Or Bree. Oh, Larson and Elliott on the outside with Byron. All Hendrick Motorsports. And then Blaney right there behind him. I like it. I like it. Finley in the building. What's good, brother? How are you? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. How are you, Finn? I got Raptors and Blazers on one screen. We got 70 laps and counting left here, roughly. 73 laps to go here in the Pennzoil 400 in Las Vegas. And Ovi's 8 goals away from Gretzky? We're getting close. Here we go, green flag. Let's go Chase. Let's go Larson, and let's go Blaney. Push, push, push. Wow, 5 wide. Holy fuck. Oh! Oh, there's the big wreck. There it is. I knew it was going to happen. I was thinking at some point, but maybe not that soon. But there it is. There's the minor one. 3 to 5 cars. Eric Jones and that Dollar Tree. Austin Dillon to pit road. And Blaney's car. Fuck! Man, Blaney's car is all fucked up. Damn it. Blaney did such a great job working his way back up the front, too. And I knew when things were going to go sideways when he went, 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide, and someone was going to get loose. Congrats. Nice. Oh, they got stacked up. Yeah, Daniel Suarez almost caused that first wreck there. And there's just no room there. Fuck fucking Ty Gibbs. What the fuck are you doing? Jesus. And Gregson, what the hell are you doing? Jeez. There's no room there, but man, that stinks for Blaney. Fuck. And he tries to correct at that point, but there's nothing you can do. He's pissed. Especially when he actually had a chance to have a top 5 finish after being in the back. Going to the middle, going to the back, and getting up to the front again. And there goes the 47, and that was just the start of it. AM in the building, what's good? Yeah, fucking I did the truck race, the Xfinity race, and the Cup race in back-to-back-to-back days. So it's the first time that I've done a truck race on the channel, first time I've done an Xfinity race on the channel, and obviously I'm here almost every week doing Cup Series. So, yeah, and I can't wait for the Mariners to get going too as well, and we'll be doing a lot of those games. You know, my goal is to do, 150 plus out of the 162, but if I'm going to be, doing NASCAR on Sundays, it might be a little bit less than that number, just depending on when the Mariners play. But definitely excited for the season, and hopefully George Kirby will heal up properly. Logan Gilbert getting the start at the beginning of the year, and everyone knows that I am Mr. Seattle Mariners, and as well as Oregon Ducks, and we'll be grinding it out and hopefully gaining some new subs to the channel, and seeing how far the Mariners can take us this year. Hopefully winning the division and getting to 90 wins, and winning the AL West and making the playoffs. And if we don't get to 90 wins, hopefully 88 or 89, and then we get second place, a wild card, and we get in. So, all right, Odin, take care, brother. Go Mariners. Yeah, I can't wait to get back together with all of the Mariners fam. Mariners up 4-1 in the 8th. Let's go M's. See, I told y'all, it's not if Oregon, if they get in, it's, when they get in, and, depending on who they play. Oregon has been good under Dana Altman. Obviously they're known as a powerhouse football team. And, at some point, they're going to get to a natty, and they're going to win one with Dan Lanning if he stays for the next 5 to 10 years. But as far as the basketball team is concerned, they're not on the football team's level, but they are pretty good. They're typically, like a top 25 team, lately within the last few years. So, not good enough to make the Final Four or win it all, of course, but if they overachieve, you might see Oregon in the Sweet 16, or, if they're really lucky, the Elite 8, but everything would have to go right for them for that to happen. Man, Blaney's car's fucked. Reddick, Suarez, Gregson, McDowell, Hamlin, Priest, Barry, Allmendinger, Johnny Nemechek in the Backstreet Boys car, and Carson Hocevar finding his way back to 10th. We got Blazers and Raptors. My best friend Justin is there with his dad watching the game. Hopefully Scoot Henderson will go off and the Blazers can get a dub. Yeah, I mean, started at the back, got into the middle, of the pack, went to the back again, and then worked his way up into the top 7, and then, the 45 and Gregson there, 6 cars involved. And again, we didn't really have any major wrecks in the trucks stream or in Xfinity. So this is pretty much the biggest wreck that we've had in 3 days. And we might have another one before the race ends, because, especially if you're going to be going 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide, you're just going to run out of space. And eventually someone's going to tap your bumper and you're going to get out of control. And, that might not be the last 5, 6 car pileup we get before the race is over. As long as Chase Elliott doesn't get involved, then I'll be fine. Canzone homered. Rivas singled to left. Tellez scored. Canzone to second, 2-1. Shenton singled to center. Lopez scored. Packard scored. Tellez to third, 4-1 Mariners. Bottom of the 8th. Finished it up, Mariners. Let's go. Wow, that's crazy. 4 laps down and made it back to the lead lap. Incredible. Reddick, Suarez, Gregson, McDowell, Hamlin in your top 5. There's a little bit of an adjustment here. Let's see how it all plays out. Come on, Chase. Suarez, Reddick, McDowell, Gregson, Priest, Hamlin, Barry, Allmendinger, and Nemechek, and Hocevar. And really the only name that you've seen up there for a majority of this race is Carson Hocevar, the 22-year-old phenom, finding his way pretty much in the top 10 for the whole race and has been very good in 2025. All right, back to green. Hocevar finished 4th at Bowman Gray, 16th. Obviously, on the race after that, and then 18th, 30th, 2nd in Atlanta, 13th and 36th. So, you know, for a young driver, you're going to have those ups and those downs, but if you can get a top 10 finish here, that would be huge. $63 laps to go. $63 laps to go. Reddick, Suarez, McDowell, Priest, Gregson in your top 5. Hamlin, Barry, Logano, Allmendinger, and Bowman in your top 10. Ty Dillon on the outside looking in. What the hell is Chase Elliott? William Byron in fucking 20th? Most lead changes in NASCAR Cup history, huh? 2025. SVG, he's limping. He said, I got to go to the garage, motherfucker. Byron, Larson, and Elliott way back in the pack. Uh-oh, 4 wide. Get out of there, Chase. Chase Briscoe might end up wrecking the other Chase, the better one, Elliott. The hell away from my guy, Briscoe. $60 to go. $59 to go. Osavar do the pits. All right, Ruddick, Suarez, McDowell, Priest, Hamlin, Barry, Gregson, Logano, Bowman, AJ Allmendinger with Ty Dillon in 11th. Radio remix. Like, when the hell are we going to crank it up? You say, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, there's more instances of being, people being dirty and aggressive rather than, being, showing that sportsmanship and whatnot. I mean, when you think of sportsmanship, I think the first name you think of is maybe Mark Martin, definitely one of those guys. I mean, may not have been the best driver in that era, but he kind of reminds me of like the Tim Duncan of the NBA, where he did everything with grace. He won with grace and he lost with grace. He didn't, complain or point fingers, like I don't think you see too many of those guys in sports anymore, that handle things the right way. When they win, they lose, or anything in between. So, but that is a good question. I don't know if I really have a memory of someone showing the ultimate sportsmanship, because obviously in racing, it's, a team sport, but again, teammates can work together, but at the end of the day, there's only one winner. If you ain't first, you last. I mean, Ricky Bobby told me that, so, and he ain't lying. Reddick, Suarez, McDowell, Hamlin, Logano in your top five. Priest making a spot visit here at 6. Who knows how long he'll keep that. Barry in 7th, Bowman in 8th, Almendinger in 9th, Ross Chastain in 10th. I'm still waiting for all the big boys to kind of work their way back up, but I don't know. Byron's in 14th, so at least he's close of getting to the top 10, but Chase Elliott too far back. Yeah, he's in 22nd. You know how racing goes. You know, you're up at the front, you go get a snack, you go to the bathroom, and, instead of being in the top 10, you're in the top 20 or on the outside of the top 20. So, but again, Larson, Byron, and Chase Elliott all kind of fell back after that wreck, and that happened. That was like 6 cars and whatnot. So, but none of them were impacted personally, but they definitely fell back on the pace. McDowell and Hamlin battling it out for 3rd place here. .46 to go. .44 to go. It's been a good race, and again, unfortunate when you end up having your favorite driver getting involved in a wreck. But since I didn't get a big wreck in the trucks and I didn't get a big wreck in the Xfinity stream, I'm kind of happy that we got that 6-car pileup. I wouldn't mind one more, 5 or 6-car pileup, but I just don't want Chase to get caught up in it. And knowing my luck, if we do have another 5 or 6-car pileup, Chase will be involved and he'll be, knocked out of the race completely, or finish 20th and beyond. So maybe that one wreck is good enough for me, but I definitely was itching for a big wreck. And 3 to 5 cars, 3 to 6 cars, it's kind of a minor, and then you get like the 8 to 12 cars where it's major. But there definitely is gonna be another point, especially if we have a caution and a restart if we go 3, 4, 5 wide, we'll have another wreck for sure. There's just not going to be enough space for everybody. But if we go green flag for the rest of the way, you might have a minor wreck with 1 or 2 cars, but you're probably not going to get the, 4, 5, 6 car wreck. But you never know. NASCAR is unpredictable. Only 42 to go. We are just mobbing. All right, no rain here until 7 p.m., so that's good. Me and Paisley go on another walk. We're not going to get drenched. All right, 40 laps to go. This is where things are going to get, really, really tight. And again, you're starting to see some of the names in the top 10 that really haven't been there for a majority of this race. And then you're starting to see some people that are 20th that are trying to climb up. Chase in 21st. I don't know if you're going to be able to get that next wave, and to finish in the top 10 unless you have another wreck to eliminate some of those cars that are in front of them. Yeah, we'll do some March Madness as well. Like I said, you know me, man. I think I'm the most versatile streamer on YouTube. There's not very many people that can do, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, wrestling, like myself. And it's always nice to be able to hang out with y'all and to be able to share the joy that we have on whatever that may be. It might be NASCAR today, WWE Monday Night Raw tomorrow, and then as we go into March Madness, and we finally crank it up, which they should have already done in the first 130 laps. Why is crank it up only one time? Fuck that. Crank it up should be up 2 times. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, we peaked over 7,000. Our NASCAR streams will hit the algorithm, every once in a while. We ended up, hitting some big numbers for the Oregon Ducks a few times. And then obviously in the NASCAR Cup Series, we, hit over 1,000 people, 2,000 people a few times, and we peaked it over 7,000 earlier. So obviously some of those, will be bots, coming out of who knows where the fuck, but again, you're gonna take whatever you can get. If you can hit the algorithm, whether it's real people, robots, whatever, or a combination of the both, anything that's going to help the channel number wise, is obviously, going to be fun. And then you can end up getting some new subs off of that, more views, maybe a new dono, individual to support the cause. But we've hit the algorithm on our NASCAR streams already 3 times. So we're it's kind of nice to be able to be rewarded in that kind of way. And, and it also shows people that how versatile I am, as Ryan Blaney's getting interviewed here. That I literally feel I can do anything and I don't feel out of my element. I do enough reading and film study and work, behind the scenes that I never feel like, oh, what am I doing? Or I don't know anything, or I'm out of place. Like, Blaney did all he could, and again, he got bumped from behind, and what can you do? I mean, you got 4 wide right there, and you got bumped by Gregson, I believe, the 4. And then Eric Jones got caught up in it right there. And then when you're, kind of just, going out of control backwards, eventually when the car flips around, you're probably going to get T-boned. And, but again, Blaney, before that wreck, I think he would have finished top 10. He definitely was moving his way up the ranks. And who knows, maybe even a top 5 finish for Blaney. Unfortunate for him. He might be like really the only Ford guy that that I like. Obviously Logano I respect, but he's not like my favorite. But I get it. Logano is good. He's won the championships and whatnot. Reddick in that 45 hitting the pits. No Toyotas in the top 11. All Chevys and Fords. You got Byron and Larson that finally caught up after being in, 20th place where Chase is still at, but at least Larson and Byron have been able to go all the way up to 10th and 11th. Now we just need Chase to be 12th so we can get that, Hendrick Motorsports, crew up there. And Bowman is, like I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, I thought that he had a good chance, today. And he's sitting in a great position right now in 5th. The best out of the Hendrick Motorsports drivers, even though he's considered probably the worst driver, and team, out of the 4 on Hendrick. But again, Bowman at times, shows you flashes of why he is a part of that team. .31 laps to go. Logano, Barry, Suarez, Bowman, Ryan Preece in your top 5, Allmendinger, McDowell, Chastain, Cindric, and Larson in your top 10. Byron on the outside looking in. Megan in the building. How are you? Yeah, you never know with the algorithm too. Sometimes we'll have, a lot of people for the whole stream. Sometimes it'll be for, half of the stream. Sometimes it'll be in the beginning and then it'll, numbers will go down and it'll go back up again later, but in any way, whenever it happens, it's just a blessing, and then you just got to hope that it happens again and again and again, and we can grow and get more people to be a part of this channel, and we can, take it to the promised land. But it definitely is fun, when you can end up going from, 10 to 25 people, normally, and then you can get to 100 to 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 7,000. That's always exciting. $28 laps to go. Chase up one spot to 19th, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get to the top 10. I mean, unless we have a wreck or a caution or something. Logano leading 33 of 238 laps. And it's like I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And even though Joey hasn't really been at the front, but again, he's at the front at the time where you want to be at the front, within the last 30 laps. And we'll see what happens here. If it stays, green flag, Joey will have a very good chance of winning this race. Nice. I didn't get a chance to watch enough of it. Hazley was being very needy. She is a needy pup, but we definitely got a few hours of playing in. And from what I saw, it looked like it was a pretty cool event. $25 laps to go. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Unfortunate for Blaney, Penske would have had a pretty nice day with their drivers. Especially Blaney would be able to have a top 10 finish instead of being wrecked. Yeah, Joey's got a strong car. Logano, Barry, Suarez, Bowman, and Priest. Chastain, Allmendinger, Cindric, Larson, and McDowell. William Byron on the outside looking in. So you got 3 Hendrick drivers in the top 11. Odd man out, my guy, Chase Elliott. But he moved up to another spot to 18th. Come on, Chase. Oh, Gragson in the wall. Uh-oh. Maybe that's a little karma for what you did to Ryan Blaney there. Man, Gragson's tire, that rubber, it's just flying off. You got debris all over the track. I feel bad for Busch. I feel like I'm going to say that every race until he wins. Like, I feel bad for him. Oh, I feel bad for him, but the guy's got the worst fucking luck. Blazers down 27-19 going into the second quarter. Mariners up 8-3 in the bottom of the ninth. Beat the Reds, damn it. And then we got the Blazers on now. Kraken will be on in a couple hours against Winnipeg. Could get really fucking ugly. Winnipeg is very good this year. Hopefully we don't lose like 5-0 or something of that nature, but hopefully they battle, and you never know. Could end up being like a 4-1 type of loss, but maybe we can find a way to keep it close. Yeah, did they get in just based off name recognition? Logano, Berry, Suarez, Bowman, Chastain, Priest, Allmendinger, Cindric, Larson, McDowell, William Byron, all the Hendrick guys there except my guy, Chase Elliott, in 18th. Come on, Chase. You know what it is. Napa know-how. Looking good, Chase. And I had to make him a little bit bigger on the thumb. I think it turned out fantastic. Now I gotta make sure I'm mixing it up for y'all, giving you guys a little piece of my artistic ability, my creativity on display. One day, Chase, one day we'll be able to celebrate this. I mean, we got Bowman Gray, but I want to win, for points. I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait for that to happen, but hopefully at least once or twice this year at the very minimum. Very, very minimum. Oh, Self versus Calipari. Just had a light go out here in the studio. If I open up a window or something. I saw it flickering like a ghost. All right, I got the window open here. Cloudy skies, but no rain. And me and Paisley Pup are going to go on a long walk after this. It's always good to get that fresh air. Gotta fix that light here later. Suarez, Berry, Priest, Chastain, Bowman, Cindric, Larson, Allmendinger, Byron, and Busher. Michael McDowell on the outside looking in. Yeah. And that happens, Sometimes you have someone that you're not, really a fan of, it's like a rival or someone that you don't really like, and and then they come to your favorite team, and sometimes things change, right? I saw that light flickering like a ghost, and then eventually it went. $21 to go. There we go. Mariners. It's been kind of challenging in spring training and whatnot, but we're getting very close to the regular season. So hopefully we can have a, two-way trip where we can have the Mariners and the Kraken both winning today. Would be great, but hopefully the intensity, will be matched. And we're at home, so, again, hopefully the crowd will be, rowdy at times to give us a little lift. And hopefully we can find a way by any means necessary. Yeah, Joey's in 20th. Look how many people have led laps today. Larson, 61, Cindric, 47, Logano, 40, Reddick, 34, Bubba, 20, Ross, Chastain, 14. That's odd. That doesn't typically happen where you have that many drivers. 5 that have 20 laps under their belt or more. That's rare. Usually you see 1 or 2 guys, that lead a big number, 50, 80, 100. So it definitely feels like this one is up for grabs. And, are we going to end up having that one last minor wreck, that will kind of, even out the pack? We'll find out. Yeah, I mean, Kraken could get demolished. I mean, I'm just hoping it could be something competitive like 3-2, 4-3, but in reality, it could end up being like 4-0, 5-1 or something of that nature. But you never know. The Kraken are very unpredictable. You don't really know what you're going to get out of them. You might get like an all-star performance against a really good team, and then they play like some bottom feeder, and then they get their ass kicked the next game. Like, it's very hard to predict what version of the Kraken you're going to get. Same thing with the Mariners. You don't really know what you're going to get out of them. Are you going to get playoff Mariners, or are they going to shit the bed? And, you just got to pray that you get the good side of the team. But I will be tuning in after this race is over. I'm going to take Paisley for a long 30 to 45 minute walk. And once I do that and settle, then I should have a few minutes to collect myself. And then I will be watching the Kraken. It's funny how all the Pacific Northwest teams are like that. It's either we're really, really good or we kind of fall on our face, and you don't really know until you actually watch the game. Blazers are like that. Mariners are like that. Kraken's like that sometimes. Seahawks are like that, right? So it's like you don't really know, but I'm hoping for the best today. Hopefully it's not like 5-0 where I'm, thinking about maybe turning it off, at some point. I want to try to watch the whole thing, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, hell, if they win, that'll be a shocker. I think that's a fair statement, right? Against especially how good Winnipeg is record-wise this year. They're phenomenal. They're like one of the best teams in the NHL overall this year. So. All right, we got 17 laps to go. Who fucking wants it? I don't think Kyle Busch has been washed. He won a trucks race just a couple weeks ago. I went over his numbers on Xfinity trucks and Cup. Obviously, moving to the new team, hasn't really done him any favors compared to the M&Ms of the 18 that he was on from before. Going from JGR to RCR and whatnot. But, he's had some incredibly bad luck. And, I know not everyone roots for Rowdy. He kind of has a certain type of personality that isn't necessarily going to be likable for everyone, kind of like a Tony Stewart. He might rub you the wrong way a little bit. Joey Logano, you might think he's a good driver, but he might not be your favorite. Like everyone's different. Everyone's got a different personality. Everyone's got different sponsors. And it just really comes down to, who do you associate yourself with based off sponsor, personality, and just based off your past. Like for me, I'm always going to root for Napa drivers regardless on who they are, just based off Dale Earnhardt, Michael Waltrip, going back with Martin Truex Jr. and DEI. Obviously Dale Earnhardt was the one that really got me into racing, and then obviously liking the duos with the father-son with Dale and Dale Jr. and it's always going to be Napa no how. But then it's also like I like rooting for people that are extreme underdogs, like Frankie Muniz, being a Hollywood child star and trying to actually be relevant in the trucks. I know he's not going to be a top 5 truck driver anytime soon, but it's just cool to see people chase their dreams. And then after they chase their initial dream of maybe being an actor, a secondary dream of being a professional truck driver on the NASCAR Truck Series, Craftsman Series, and trying to be relevant. So. I mean, we all have our reasonings why we like and dislike people, and drivers and athletes, right? Barry, Suarez, Priest, Chastain, Byron in the top 5, Cindric, Allmendinger, Bowman, Larson, and Chase Elliott in 10th. We got all Hendrick Motorsports drivers in the top 10, baby. Larson, Bowman, Elliott, all next to each other, don't wreck each other, and Byron in 5th. But again, you need a little bit of a push here if you want a Hendrick Motorsport driver to win. There we go. Josh Berry, we saw him fill in for Chase Elliott a couple years ago after the winter activity accident, and he actually did pretty good, with all things considered, driving Chase's ride back then. This would be a big, big win for either one, Berry or Suarez. Suarez, it's been a minute since he won a race, and remember, it took him 7 years before he ended up winning a race a few years back. I remember watching it, and so you never know. But again, 12 laps, 10 laps is an eternity. 10 laps to go. Barry, Suarez, Priest. I mean, any of those three would be head over heels, just going crazy. Chastain, he hasn't won in a minute. William Byron, Cindric, Allmendinger, Bowman, Larson, and Elliott. I like seeing all the Hendrick guys in the top 10 with all things considered. I'm almost amazed that we got all those guys together in the top 10. It looked like everyone was going to be in the top 10 but Chase. But Chase went from 20th to 10th, in a matter of a very few laps. Shout out to my boy. Best finish is second at Richmond, so this would be his first Cup win in his life. How exciting would that be for Josh Berry? $52 starts, 8 top 10s, second place finish in his career. And it's always cool when you see a guy win their first race. You remember it. Even if it's not your favorite, even if you don't give a shit, it's like you'll still remember if you're a hardcore fan, whenever that guy ended up winning his first race. And as years pass, you might forget what race it was, but you typically remember what year it was. And sometimes, depending on what race it was, and the connection you have, you might remember the race. But Josh Berry with that clean air, he's got a chance. He's looking good. Suarez about 0.9 seconds behind. But again, you look at that, career wins. Priest and Berry don't have one. They want one. Chastain's got 5. Byron got 14. Suarez got 2. But Berry has none. This could be a Josh Berry day. I mean, at this point, if a caution comes out, Berry's not going to win. But if there is no caution, there's a 50-50 chance. We'll see if Suarez can get a good run here. But he's going to need help from Priest, Chastain, and Byron from behind. And then obviously, if you're anybody but Berry, you want a caution to come out now. So that way that it's, a restart, and who knows what will happen. 5 to go. This could be Josh Berry's first win. It's not like Berry and Priest are young. I mean, these guys are in their mid-30s. So it's not like they're going to be racing forever. They're not, Carson Hocevar, 22 years old, young gun. They're up there already, based off NASCAR age. You're not going to see NASCAR drivers drive into their 60s, Berry, Suarez, Priest. I don't think there's any scenario in my life that I thought that it would be Berry, Suarez, and Priest with 4 laps to go. But it's kind of cool, though. I mean, I still would rather have, Chase Elliott, but, coulda, woulda, shoulda. What can you do? But, I mean, at this point, with everything that's happened, I'll take top 10 finishes for everyone in Hendrick. 3 to go. And, again, unless we get a caution, this is going to be a Josh Berry first-time victory. He can taste it right now. He's nervous. He can taste the victory. I mean, right now, with the clean air that he has, it should be him. Easy. Like I said, Suarez is a couple car lengths back and, too far behind to catch him. Even though he's only 1.33 seconds behind. Priest, 3 seconds. Priest got no chance. Suarez is in second, but he got no chance. I mean, based on how the conditions are on this track right here. I mean, as long as Berry doesn't blow a tire or hit the wall, we're going to get Josh Berry's first victory here in 2025 in his career. Two to go. Berry can taste it. They might have to give him a Gatorade bath with Pennzoil. Oh, my. Two to go. Berry, Suarez, Priest, Chastain, Byron, Cindric, Bowman, Allmendinger, Larson, and Elliott. This is going to be a Josh Berry victory. Final lap, final lap, final lap. Pretty cool, man. Josh Berry. Woo! First win in his career. I mean, I would rather have that be Chase Elliott, but I wouldn't mind Ryan Blaney going from the back to the middle to the back to the front. But this will be a victory that Josh Berry has been dreaming about for years and years and years. How cool is that, man? What a hell of a race, being in the right place at the right time when that 6-man wreck happened. You weren't necessarily someone that got caught up in it. And, no one predicted Berry, Suarez, Priest. And if you're Suarez, you're feeling great. Hell, second place. And if you're Priest, you're like, holy shit, we finished third. Byron, that's got to be probably a little bit of a disappointment at fourth. Ross at fifth. Cindric at sixth when he was leading the race early on. Maybe a little bit of a disappointment. Bowman had a great car. Told y'all he'd be in the mix. He was seventh place. Allmendinger eighth. And then we got my boy Larson and Elliott teammates there at 9th and 10th. With Big Bad Brad somehow, some way sneaking his way ahead of Christopher Bell and getting 11th. Wow. So no back-to-back wins for Christopher Bell, but a 12th place finish, respectable. Josh Berry, you son of a bitch, huh? Let's get a Josh Berry photo up. Crazy. Only 3 drivers up to this point. There you are. Rocking the Sunny D. Nice job, man. Just like when, Daniel Suarez won his first race in like fucking 7 years. Imagine racing like, 30, 40 races a year and going for 7 years and then never fucking winning. Almost like, 250 to 300 races and then finally winning, and being able to represent the Latinos and the Latinas. Pretty cool. And then we also saw Pitbull, drop his little, sponsorship and whatnot. So second place finish for Suarez. You got to feel awesome about that. You had no chance of winning, but getting second, nice. And Priest in third, holy fuck. But the story of the day, Josh Berry. Man, this is cool. So you fucking did it, dude. You fucking did it. And maybe not the last race that we see Josh Berry win this year. Momentum is a motherfucker, You win one, you might be able to win another one. Hell, we might see Josh Berry in the playoffs this year. Wouldn't that be something? You go from, not winning any races and then you win one, maybe you win two, and maybe you end up being in the playoff. History right in front of our very eyes right there. Pretty cool. Yeah, with that Sunny D drink. Awesome, man. Very, very cool to see Josh Berry do Josh Berry things. And again, he did a pretty good job when he filled in for Chase. So you saw like, okay, who's this Josh Berry guy? He had a little bit of potential, right? But I'm not sure if anyone really anticipated Berry winning, this season. But it's always cool when you can see something like that. Hopefully we get to see Karsten Hocevar win a race. I'd love to be able to see that too this year. Nice job, Josh. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to all the people that like, sub, donated, commented, shared. I had a blast. Now, I know Monday Night Raw is going to be on overseas in Europe around noon, which kind of ruins the plan that I originally had. But check social media, and it'll let you know what we're going to be doing tomorrow. If I end up doing Monday Night Raw at noon, or if we end up doing something else later in the evening, which might be preferred. But I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Holla at Josh Berry. First win in his career. I see you. Napa know-how. Chase Elliott, 10th place finish. I'll take it, and I'm out. Okay.